Hello, everyone. It's another crazy, chaotic,
Man,
unbelievable weekend in sports and elsewhere. Uh, but we mainly gonna focus on the sports. So yeah, you wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute. It is so ironic that you're wearing that hat because they're going to be a part. They're going to come up in your conversation that you want to start off with, which I'm going to let you go ahead and start it off.
so I sent this to Dante earlier on today, and I got two major rants. I'm gonna get the first one out the way. The other one will come on later on down the line. But the
Hmm.
first one was spawned by good old Acho made a post about Notre Dame rejecting or not rejecting, but declining to be involved in a
No,
college bowl game.
no, he was right. Rejected, declined.
Rejecting,
It
decline, everything.
works.
Right. Either way, it works. I'll take the PG approach on the front end of it.
Hmm.
And was saying that it was distasteful, classless, blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. Suck a dick. And this is not just for him. This is for every single pundit that is now poo-pooing because a team that, let's be real, does Notre Dame really need the money for playing in a bowl game?
Mm, no, I
Does
wouldn't. I
does
wouldn't
the
think so.
does the bowl game need the notoriety and the through and the influx of money from Notre Dame fans and alumni coming to it more than
Hmm.
Notre Dame needs the money from them?
For sure.
So let me get this straight. We're trying to protect the players.
Uh-huh.
We're trying to protect investment.
Uh-huh.
We're trying to protect futures.
Hmm.
And for so long, we've been in a process. We were under a program to where the bowls were the biggest thing in the world when it was only maybe about 10 or 15 bowl games.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. There was like one major one, and then the rest of them was a kind of a
You had
everybody
the
gets a trophy.
right. You had basically an extra game for trophy.
Hmm.
So now everybody's getting upset
Hmm.
because coaches and let's start from the beginning.
Okay.
Notre Dame got screwed. And the reason why I say Notre Dame got screwed was out of the three teams that everybody kept on saying was the last three in for that tournament, you had Alabama, Notre
Hmm.
Dame, and Miami.
Hmm.
The only thing that was against Notre Dame from the first part of that season was the loss to Miami.
Hmm. Okay, go
They
ahead.
they were on a 10-game winning streak. Their running back is up for the Heisman, and they were smoking people. They were
Yeah, but
the only game that was really close was that Boston College one, and then they ended up smoking them.
well, no, I don't. I'm not saying, but my thing is also who did they play? And there's
Yeah,
something that nobody has factored in, and it took me looking at their schedule because I totally forgot about it.
yeah, but
Miami was their first loss.
yeah, Miami was the
Who
first game
was
of the season.
Yes, and who was their second?
I forgot who their second one was.
Your hat. I
Oh, Texas
totally forgot
A&M.
about that. Mhm.
Texas A&M. Yeah.
Yeah, I
So
totally
you
forgot
lost.
about it.
So you lost
And
the two teams that are in the tournament.
now, now, how many times? Here's where I feel they got screwed. Where I completely agree. But and that should be everybody's main uh like last night when I was on YouTube, uh that that should be everybody's main flag that they're carrying. How do spots get flipped between two teams that had the week off? Now, now, on the one hand, I'll ask you this.
Mm-hmm.
how many times have two teams head to head? They ended up head to head,
Mm-hmm.
but one beat the other. How many times has the losing team gotten in? Especially when that losing team, while they have relationships, still aren't officially in a conference. They did that whole let's be friends with benefits. No, you want to be
No.
separate. Guess what? This has been a problem with Notre Dame since the days of Bo Schembechler because people were getting mad that they were even in the national championship conversation, seeing that they didn't have one. And and that's what ended up making them create a friends with benefits with the ACC.
And
Now,
that,
something else that's not being factored in. One, what was being said the whole season? Miami needed to lose another game. The closer it got to the end of the season, Miami got to lose another game. They need BYU to win. Did either one of those things happen?
no.
So nobody talks about that part. The only part they talk about is Miami, but they don't talk about the part where they were needing other teams besides Miami they needed BYU to win against Texas A&M because that would have helped them.
Against Texas Tech. Yeah, against Tech. But
Yeah,
see,
yeah, yeah. They needed them to win against Texas Tech to help them over. I'm guessing over the Aggies,
no,
but
so what the problem, the reason why they needed BYU to win, and while I got the explanation from the chair when he got interviewed right after they announced the numbers, I mean
uh-huh,
announced the parents for it, I
yeah.
got the explanation in the logical standpoint. No, in the illogical standpoint. In the logical standpoint, it made zero sense.
I will admit, while I was hearing them say it, I was scratching my head too, but I
Be-
was.
because what you're basically saying is that you had Notre Dame 10, BYU, you had Notre Dame 9 or 10, 10, BYU 11, Miami 12.
Mhm,
BYU got blown out.
mhm,
Now, keep that in mind. BYU got blown out by a team that they had got blown out by before. So they fall off the map.
mhm,
So now you put, so basically 11 drops out, 12 moves up to 11. Now you got 10 and 11 right next to each other. And the only metric that made you flip it was the fact that the first game of the season, and this goes back to my argument I've been having for the longest time with the damn rankings. The first game of the season, Miami upset Notre Dame.
mhm,
So they beat them head to head.
mhm,
Fine.
mhm,
But look at Notre Dame's losses versus Miami's losses.
mhm, mhm. Right.
They lost to Louisville,
Right.
and then I forgot who their other team that they lost to.
Give me a second.
Wasn't
I
it,
got.
wasn't it
Uh,
Florida State? Or what was it, Florida or Florida? No, it wasn't Florida
no,
State.
no. It was Texas.
Was it A&M too?
Oh,
No.
I'm sorry. That's Texas A&M schedule. My bad. Um, I was trying to pull up Miami schedule, and
I haven't even pulled it
there's
up.
Miami schedule. All right. All right. So they took a loss to Louisville and quit scrolling back up. And
It was
SMU.
a bad loss
SM,
at SMU.
SMU.
Right. So, and the reason why SMU was not, think about the two losses. Louisville, was Louisville even in the running for the college football playoff? No.
Mm-mm.
Was SMU in the running for the college football playoff?
Mm-mm.
No.
No, after they started taking so many losses, no.
Right. So your strength of schedule should have taken a hit to where the two losses that Notre Dame had is the team right below them and a team that's 6 ranks above them. So how in the world do you sit there and justify just because that head-to-head battle that was week one?
And see, this is why I don't like like when people hear that things have changed, you got to
It
pay
hasn't.
attention. You got to pay attention. They have been saying every time they've made a new something that things were going to change. They were not. Another argument, um matter of fact, I forgot to pull up their schedule. My bad. Um, let me do that while I'm talking. Uh, that conference thing is big
The
because
conference thing is big, but and they
because
and
think about it like this. If they had been, I don't understand why they won't just jump into the Big Ten. I don't understand why they didn't jump into the Big Ten a long time
because
ago.
Notre Dame is
Now that
Notre
that
Dame's arrogance makes it to where they
that
feel like they're bigger than a conference.
that
But
that well,
right, but now, but here's the
bend over,
and this
baby,
is
because
this is the part of it to where this is the only knock I got against what Notre Dame did. You got into bed with the ACC, but you was like you said, you was a friends with benefits. Miami's been their bottom bitch for the past 25 some odd years. They ain't left. They didn't stuck it out through anything else. So when the feds is knocking and they saying either you gonna go down with your side chick or your bottom, you going down with your bottom, and that's what that all today has been Notre Dame accusing the ACC of reneging on their deal because they were promoting to get Miami in instead of them. And then the head of the ACC saying, "Well, you're not totally affiliated with us, so why wouldn't we push for that?
you
Why
got
wouldn't we push
people.
for them? So I can't be mad at them for that. I can't be mad because of that dynamic. What I'm mad about is the fact of the goalposts doing this again.
Yeah, but
Hold on, but the reason why I'm saying the goalposts doing this again is because you feel for some reason the same pundits that sit there and say, "Oh, we got too many bowl games. The bowl games don't mean nothing really." They always on the shows doing all this stuff, sitting up there. Why does Snoop have a bowl game? Why are we playing a bowl game in Yankee Stadium? Why are we playing a bowl game at Fenway? Why are we doing all this stuff for that? Now all of a sudden are flipping sitting up there saying, "Oh, you're taking away 3 extra weeks of training. You're taking away seniors' opportunity to play one more game. You're taking away how many seniors realistically or draft eligible players are going to sit there and go through 3 more weeks of training to go play in a meaningless bowl for the swag bags and the school to take the money when they can be getting ready for the draft to where they can get paid? Not too many. So why even take that spot away from somebody that might be an up and coming team that might need that work, that extra time frame, that extra work in order to build that up, in order to come to have that opportunity to use that extra time when you know most of your seniors and your draft eligible players ain't gonna play anyway. It's only gonna be a shell of the team that you had out there that went 10 and 2 out there in the first place. So now we getting pissed. We getting pissy. We saying it's disrespectful when they basically sit up there saying, you know what? At the end of the day, we don't want to play. I'm not going to put this team out there to where what happens if Notre Dame goes out there and it's a shell of the team that played during the season and they get boat raced. There's going to be the whole pundit's going to flip and say, well, they weren't ready. They were still shell shocked from not being in the college football playoff. Their coaching was bad. They didn't prepare them for it. Oh, they shouldn't even played this game. We didn't heard that whole song and dance before. So now, with not only them, think about it. Florida State opted out. Auburn opted out. How many?
well,
How many
yeah, they
schools?
opted out. Not only
Who?
did they opt out, players left. The players that stayed said that they weren't. They basically told everybody we're not playing.
And that's the other part. If you read the letter that Notre Dame said, they said that they had a team meeting and came together and said we're not going to play in a bowl game this year.
Yeah,
It wasn't just an administrative decision to say, "Oh, y'all snubbed us. We ain't gonna play." They took it to their players. So now
yeah.
you're
That's
basically
always how it is. If
Right.
a team, ever since this whole thing, and I laugh every time everybody gets in an uproar about it because they act like everything else in life. They act like this is new. This is
No,
not new. Teams have
no.
been refusing to play in bowl games since Lord knows when. If they didn't make the national championship, they were upset. They felt like they were wronged. They didn't play in no bowl game. It and the same thing. As soon as they said that they wasn't playing in the bowl game, the same thing that happened now to Notre Dame. This ain't the first, and if I'm not mistaken, this ain't the first time that didn't happen to Notre Dame because I don't think this is the
No,
first time they've refused to play in a bowl game. Um,
no.
if I remember right. Uh, um, this has been a whole problem with the whole dynamic of the national championship. Every time you think, and every time you think you're gonna come up with a plan, as long as people have the freedom to be upset, they're gonna be upset.
Yeah. And
Now,
this
Alabama
yeah,
getting in.
that's some
Guess
bullshit.
what? Guess what? Here's the truth of it. Here's the truth of it, and this is real, and that's why I said you got to pay attention to. They're not gonna keep Alabama out forever. They gave
But
them some years where they kept where they kept them out here and there, and matter of fact, you remember when they kept them out when Saban was still there, and he was wanting to move the goalpost. He was wanting everybody to
yeah,
move the goalposts, so feeling like that they should have been in. It's
but
like,
bro,
it's about momentum. It's about momentum going
no,
into it. And it's like, no, it's never been about momentum going into it. And you've been a proponent of that. You've been a proponent, and you've been okay with that. But that was because you were winning, you were dominating, and you knew you were in, so you didn't have a problem with it. And that's why people got to be careful what you're okay with and what you're not okay with. Because when you end up on that side, then you go be the one that you
you
was
can't
looking
be
at talking
right.
about talking about suck it up, Buttercup. Try again next year. And then when people were saying it to them, Alabama fans, at least the ones I saw online, and people like Nick Saban was feeling like they was getting disrespected because people was saying the same thing that he was basically, even if he didn't say it in those exact words. That's bottom line what he said. It just okay, try again next year. It's life ain't fair. Okay, Nick, life ain't fair. Okay, okay, Notre Dame, you wanna be up here, and you want to be up here and you above all this, and you want to be the side chick or the friends with benefits. You gotta know, then that means that you gotta go undefeated every year, no question. That way that way you lower your chances. You can still be your and yet you're going to get in because you beat everybody. You beat everybody. It was no question
And I
because you
think
because you know that they're gonna go by. If they don't go by how many losses, they're gonna go by like the teams that you played. When you won, how many points did you win by? When you lost, how many points did you lose by? And who was the team and how did they do? You know that they do all of that, and ain't none of that gonna change. Even if when they start making up a new something, they don't mention it. Everything that was a rule is still gonna come with it, and it's
that
still
it's gonna
gonna
come
be
back
there.
around. And I think that's the other part of the frustration with it. Is that Notre Dame didn't play this weekend. Miami didn't play in the ACC championship game because of the technicality. And that five-way dance that five-way dance that they had in order to put Duke ass in the daggone championship game, which I'm sorry. Before I go into Alabama, let's bring the camera in. So let me get this straight. You won a conference championship with Virginia and Duke playing football, and Duke won a 5-team tiebreaker in order to be your second person in the final. And for shits and giggles, they actually freaking won. There was less people in Cameron Indoor. No, there was less people in that stadium watching that game in Charlotte than it was in Cameron Indoor. That's how empty that stadium was on Saturday night. Great game. Don't get me wrong, great game. But to have somebody sit up there and say, hey, we deserve to be in the college football playoff. We got 5 losses, but we're the conference champs. Which invalidates the conference championship. It pretty much invalidates it, because
in their case,
yeah, because the argument after that game was, does the ACC even get a team into there? Because the rule is, and this is again another step before I get to Alabama's shitty ass. Everybody wanted fair play. Everybody wanted the group of 5. It was unfair for the group of 5 not to have an opportunity to play for a national championship. Even though they're the little brothers and the stepchildren of everything, against the big Power 5/Power 4 that we absorbed one of our own in order to make it to Power 4, to make it to where it's right. Everybody deserves a chance. So let's make the rule to where it's the highest ranked top 5 conference champions. Yay! Everybody gets a fighting chance. And then what happens? The ACC does what the ACC does. If it ain't Clemson, it ain't shit. Yeah. And your only bet of a lock was Virginia, and they were 17th in the college football ranking. They weren't even in the top 12. They wouldn't even been on the bracket if you took the first 12.
Of course not. Okay.
So you have a fit.
For me, the ACC is the cannibals of conferences.
No. The ACC, I won't say the ACC. The SEC is the cannibals. The ACC is the hyenas.
Yeah, but they still do
what the ACC took.
They still do cannibalistic stuff to right. themselves. That's
but take the scraps.
That's why that was a ridiculous. I got to be honest. When I heard who was playing in the conference championship, my brain did kind of go, "Wait, what?"
That's what I did, because I was trying to figure out. I was like, "Wait a minute, why the hell is Duke playing? Why ain't SMU playing? Why ain't Miami playing?" And then I went and saw what the whole convoluted tiebreaker was. I said, "Are you serious?"
Yeah.
And you ended up with Duke. Mm-hmm. But then my brain goes into, I think about common sense and I think about financial sense. Who is the number 1 paid NIL player in the ACC right now? Duke's quarterback. Mm-hmm. So why not give him the spotlight? So they weren't slick. They let it happen. I get that. But you have to, when it came to that whole process with that, now everybody mad because James Madison got in. James Madison had a good season. Tulane had a good season. But again, that same argument to where they ain't play nobody, they won their conference championship. And because of the rules are the rules, they were higher ranked than Duke. So, yep, they get in. Then we get to Alabama. Last 4 games for Alabama, complete and utter shit show. But because the SEC cannibalizes each other, who got the number 1 ranking in the SEC? Alabama. And what ended up happening? Alabama, hey, we're back. Let the elephants toot the horns. Oh my God, it's a bulldog. Oh my God, it's a bulldog. Oh my God, it's a bulldog. Oh snap, it's a bulldog. Alabama was never in that league. They won that game in Athens because Georgia beat themselves.
Yeah.
Georgia turned around and said, we're not going to beat ourselves. We're going to beat the brakes off of you. And
Mhm.
they beat the brakes off of Alabama. So if you're going to sit there and say it's an eye test thing for who's the best 12 teams, forget the conference championships, forget all the other rules, whatever else there is. If you're taking the 12 best teams in college football at the end of the season, including the conference championships, you cannot, with a straight face, look at me and tell me that Alabama is one of the top 12 teams in the nation. Especially if you're going to yell, oh, it's momentum. Momentum takes them there. Man, they look like a piece of shit all daggone month. Ever since the calendar turned to November, they turned to trash. It's just that they were going up against trash, so it didn't look bad. Oklahoma ran them. They played a Division One AA team. They almost lost the Iron Bowl, and then they got boat raced.
Mm-hmm.
So what's their reward? They get the same team that boat raced them to start this whole streak in Norman. Good luck. The name recognition, if you're going to bank this off of name recognition and say we're going to do the college football playoff in order to draw the biggest fan bases that are attached to the best teams in the league in order to maximize our money for it, say that shit.
The politics is never. They can't say that. They gotta.
But you,
They gotta do. They gotta do how it always goes down in life. This is why people hate people that double talk. I hate people that double talk.
I hate it with a passion because
And
at this point,
but the reason why they do it is because it guarantees once they get you in, the chances of the number of people leaving ain't that high.
no,
Unless you some small, you really put your foot in it, or you really put your foot in it and you say something that just everybody finds offensive and you basically get you and your business canceled. um 9 times out of 10, that's the way business works. Yeah, you gonna crack a few eggs, but as long as if you got 10 eggs, if you crack 7 of them, if you crack 3 of them, you still got 7. You fine. On on to the next batch, and
and it's
just make sure we stay up around 7, 8, 9. You gonna lose some here and there. As long as you don't lose the majority, you still gonna make the money. That's how so many businesses have stayed in power, stayed in business, should I say, and kept making all the billions and millions and hundreds of thousands, depending on what level they are and or whatever. So bottom line, they
it
keep making money, and their
yeah,
reputation
but
is good more than it's bad. So
it's
it's
just now to the point to where the last thing that I'll say on this one is be careful what you wish for. Because if Alabama gets boat raced again, you're going to have to deal with that. If Miami gets boat raced, you're going to have to deal with that because you left teams outside
but you
of
know
it.
that that's gonna happen. So but you
Yeah,
know that's gonna happen. That they're
yeah,
gonna suffer a loss,
they're
and
going to
people gonna
suffer.
be like, "See, you should have
If
let
they
our team
suffer,
in. We would have
right.
won that
But
game." Again, that's been something
but
that's been getting said for the.
the biggest thing that I want from the pundits that have been barking about the teams that skipped out and said anything, said that they didn't want to play. They were going on with they're going to get ready to prep because you have to remember, we've already been talking about most of these teams now, they early signing period was last week. NIL kicks off this week. We don't have
Mm,
time to be prepping for a bowl game when I don't know who's going to enter into the portal. I don't on my team from other teams to rebuild. This is going to start the death of all of these extra bowl games. It's about to come to an end. And what's going to end up happening is that you're going to have to expand the playoff in order to try to keep the interest in somewhat of all these meaningless little bowls. Because at the end of the day, now before they were worried, the students was worried about getting that swag bag from going to those bowls with that. Now, if they got NIL money, they can buy everything in that swag bag. They ain't worried about that no more. With all the money that we're hearing in these coaches getting hired that's getting kicked into NIL, you think they worried about playing in a bowl for a couple $100,000? No. The only thing that's going to make these bowl games attractive is if they're attached to the playoff. And they already made the main 7 bowls as a part of the playoff. So there ain't nobody going. None of these little ones is going to last. Within 3 to 5 years, there's not going to be no more bowl games. It might be exhibitions. But it's for this whole thing. This is the start of the trend. This is just like if the NFL sat there and said, "Hey, we're having the playoffs, but
It
everybody
it'll
else."
it'll be affected. It'll never go away because they've been saying that they would all go away
But that
since
was before NIL.
and I get that. And basically what's gonna happen is it's gonna get affected, but what they're gonna do, they're gonna figure out a way to still have the bowls because at the end of the day, whoever decided they not gonna be in them, then the fan bases of the schools that are willing to go to them will get that spot, and then eventually what it'll come down to is a lot of those teams that decided not to do it. Eventually, something is gonna happen where, oh hey, no offense, but I wouldn't have minded going to that bowl game over in such and such
Mm-hmm.
place. And then the AD and the chancellor gonna have to go, okay, if it comes up again, we'll make sure we go because the fans and the money will talk from that end. That's why the bowls haven't already completely disappeared. Um, they don't get talked about as much, obviously, but they still go on and they still have teams in them. That's why I said it'll get tweaked and it'll get tweaked, it'll get moved, it'll get shuffled, but I don't think that they will completely go away. Even if they expand the playoff, which expanding the playoff, I've already told you, even if they make it exactly the size of the college basketball one, there's gonna be somebody mad that their
There's
team didn't
always
get
going to
in.
be somebody that's mad.
So and that's my thing. Somebody's team is gonna be mad that they didn't get in. They're gonna completely ignore the details. Because
It's
whether
going
you
to
like it
be
or not, the one thing that rarely gets objected, if it comes down to two teams and one of those teams beat the other team, the team that beat the other team is getting in. So very rarely, I'm pretty sure it's happened in history where the loser got in over the winner, which had this argument going on. I'm pretty sure, can't remember it immediately off the top of my head, but I know it's happened. So, uh, especially if the school had a big name attached to them, like say Alabama or an Ohio State, I'm pretty sure it's happened.
it's just and oh yeah, I forgot about that. Told you. I messaged you that as soon as it happened at the end of Saturday night. Told you. Ohio
Told
State
me,
had not played nobody.
well, I knew that.
Yeah, even with the
Now,
people,
was I expecting it to be Indiana? No, but
that Indiana team, the reason I came into that game at halftime, toward the end of the first half, and that Indiana team, when that quarterback took that shot, when they quarterback Mendoza took that shot off the end and got knocked down, and then he went out for a play and then came back in. I was like, this is not your same Indiana team. And they came back and they punched Ohio State in the mouth. Ohio State, they wide receivers, they got their little bit of stuff off, but they did not pop off like they normally do. And their corners got exposed. That last play, in order to seal the game, where all it was just a straight go route
mhm.
on the outside, and he torched their number one corner and caught the caught just the go route over his shoulder in order to get that first down to seal the game. I said when I seen that, I said, "Oh, this is bad," because Ohio State had not the same reason, the same argument that we've had about Notre Dame's schedule and about Miami's schedule and everything else. Nobody's brought up Ohio State's schedule at all. Ohio State had not played Indiana at all. They had not played Oregon at all. They played none of the. They played what one Penn. If you want to count Penn State as the upper echelon of the Big Ten, that's it. Everybody else was the bottom figures of the Big Ten that they played up against.
Yeah, because like I told my friend, I had no last year or this year, I had no doubt from watching them play that they were going to lose to Ohio State. And them winning to Ohio State last year was like, oh, okay.
Right.
And when it went down this year, I was like, I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
I am not surprised based upon me watching them play. I had I jumped into a conversation where um somebody was having a conversation. Somebody posted online about the fact that Alabama got in over Michigan. Shut the hell up. Just I mean don't
What?
right.
Had they not
And
watched Michigan, that's when you get them homers again,
right,
fanatic
yes,
instead
yes.
of a
It was
fan.
like, no, I'm not. No, don't do that. Because every team that they played that had a monstrous defense, there's a reason why they lost to USC. And as soon as they play a defense that could punch them in the mouth for 4 quarters, where Underwood go? I thought he was playing today. He is playing. Oh.
Right. And
It's
it wasn't even close. That's why I'm like, what?
and that's the difference between that's why people we may have a spirit we may have certain subjects where we may have a spirited debate, but for the most part we're not going to have an actual argument that's going to go
No,
like downhill.
no.
It because I'm a realist. I am a flat out realist, and I don't mind looking at my team going, yeah, that ain't it.
That's the part. That's the one thing when we get to the picks. What was the number one thing that I said last week when it came to the Bengals? I sat there and I said they had a chance. They will have a chance when it's in there, but somehow, some way, the Bengals is gonna do some Bengal shit, and they was gonna
Can
lose the game.
can you do me one favor?
What?
Can you give Golden his flowers? Because I'm sorry.
Yes, I will. I
That
will give Joe.
man,
He because
that man,
they starting to listen and they starting to
that
play.
that
But
D, that D
he
looks
was
really good. And I actually felt bad that I actually felt bad
two
that I won
plays.
that game. I was
Two
like,
plays.
oh man.
It was that game came down to two plays, and
Yeah.
it was one of them was what one of them was not Joe's fault. That was just an athletic ass play.
Yeah, the
And
the the,
the
the tip
interception
ball,
return.
but the one where he like threw into the zone, and they showed like they showed the camera angle right behind the linebacker. He was on the left side of the screen, and he just followed the ball and went right to the right as soon as it left his hand, and he jumped in front of it. And
But
I'm
that ball
like,
flipped. If you watch the all 22, he never had a grip on that ball. That ball went almost sideways out his hand. That's what made him be able to jump straight up and grab it. And that he knew it was bad when he tried to throw it because he was trying to re-grip it when he let it go. So, and that was all. That's one of the ones where I will sit there. If you're hearing this first, that was on Joe. If that was the case, then if you because it slipped and it was the weather, everything else, I get that. But that's one of the ones where you eat that. Don't try to
but
force it down and thing.
is he still
Joe, the
is
fact
is there an issue with that wrist? I'll get that
no,
it was
no,
cold. I
no,
was
no. I don't think it's an issue with the wrist. That one was legitimate when they showed that when I went back and I watched it. he got the ball, and because he had not done anything with it when he went back to go, he didn't wipe it off or anything else, and it was still snowing, it slipped right out of his hand. Because every other throw that he was throwing during that time frame, even the dime that he hit Higgins with to score the touchdown, the touchdown to take the lead back or to cut into the lead, when he hit that pass, that was beautiful spiral on there. He was winging it, and they was the Higgins. You had Higgins dropping passes that you normally don't see him drop in his hand,
Yeah.
and it's interesting because no sooner as the game was over, they put him back in the concussion protocol. I don't think after he had took that hit to where he came out for a little bit, I don't think his head was in there the whole while. Because the next pass that went to him was that one that hit him dead in his hands and he dropped it. He went straight down to the ground, looked like he caught the ball and spiked it at the same time.
Yeah.
And
That's because of that hit he took.
right, that's what I'm saying. But he didn't take not on that catch where he dropped it. He didn't take a hit on that one. That one was just it hit him in his hands and he dropped it. He knew that he should have caught that pass. But it was just that whole game. That game is Cincinnati has that goes into the second round.
Mm-hmm.
And shoot,
yeah.
We might as well go ahead and go into the second round.
Yeah, go ahead, go into the second round. Go ahead.
Cincinnati. I love my city. I love my city to the death of me. I got it tattooed on my arm. But our infatuation with mediocrity is getting to a point to where it's an illness. It's getting to a point to where it's a sickness. If you close your eyes after the crosstown shootout on Friday and listen to that press conference, and you didn't say who the coach was that was in there, you could have swore you heard Zach Taylor. You could have swore you heard Mick Cronin at a time.
Wow.
You could have swore you heard Bruce Coslett.
Good
Dave
grief.
Shula.
Wow.
All to hear. And this is the reason why. I grew up and you came here probably during the end of the golden era of Cincinnati sports. That late 80s to early 90s, you got to think about it. 88 to 89, we went to the Super Bowl. And we had Boomer, James Brooks, Ickey Woods, Eddie Brown, Tim McGee, Rodney Holman, Anthony Munoz, Max Montoya. I can name all up the SWAT team as the secondary. We had that back there. So the Bengals was good. A little known coach came in from Akron named Bob Huggins and turned UC into a perennial top 10 team. We still had Pete Gillen and Skip Prosser at Xavier. Mm-hmm. We had Lou Piniella win a world championship with the Reds in the 90s. And then all of a sudden it was, we do whatever it takes to keep butts in the seats. The only person that actually fought against that demographic during that time frame was Huggins. And what did it take? It took a cantankerous bitch that got him up out of there.
Come on.
And the reason why I will say that about Zinfer was Zinfer came into UC and tried to change UC as a whole. Not only the basketball program, she got rid of anything.
Yeah, but come on.
He did his stuff to get him into there.
Okay then. Come on now.
I'm not going to condone everything that he did. But
people
but the worst thing you can do is have somebody that already has an agenda and you gave them fuel in order to help them get you out.
Right. And that's the whole thing. The reason why she ended up in there was because of it
wasn't just because of him.
the reason, right, but that's what I'm saying is the when something at the top is wrong and there's somebody that can fire what's going on at the top and they can do it, the next person that's coming in and go, we're gonna change the reputation of our school, we're gonna make it better, we're gonna make it
And
safer, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that. And if you get caught in the crossfire, like I tell people all the time, if you a rabbit, if you a rabbit, well, how personal was it? It as soon as she found out is that Bob Huggins was in the wrong place doing what he do at the wrong time because
yeah.
because he ran into a cop that was like, no, my job is to keep these streets safe and you are not safe and I'm not giving you a pass. That and that's not on the chancellor because
Oh,
because if it wasn't for that particular cop, it would have been like business as usual. Would nobody had known that basically every time he got caught, people was giving him a ride home, and it basically came out that no, this wasn't a one time thing. This wasn't a two-time thing. This wasn't a three-time thing. This guy was protected by the law enforcement,
yeah.
and that don't look good on UC. So yeah, she came in and she made and she said, "No, this is no, no, no,
Now,
no, 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 no.
the only
This is part of what's wrong with the school. You got to go." And now, did it hurt UC and the basketball team? Yes, but and I love when people do that. That's like people that get arrested for selling drugs and they blame the cop instead of blaming themselves.
yeah.
It's just it's awesome. It's just awesome to see. Now what she did, it did end up hurting the basketball team. It did, but she did her job.
But here's the reason why, and here's the insight as to why I call it the way that I do when it comes to that.
Okay.
Huggins was a part of the dismantling of what was UC that she did. She did way more damage that was not athletic part of it through the academics during that time frame that caused a lot of issues that the people after she bolted to go to her Ivy League school just got finished fixing and cleaning up. Because a lot of people don't realize, and I'm speaking from in general because I was a student there when she was there.
Okay.
So they had a 2-year program at UC
Mm-hmm.
where you could go if you were transferring, if you were going through, if you weren't sure about your grades, if you were coming off of probation, anything else like that, you could take a 2-year pre-program and then build your grades up, and then you could transfer into either the regular program or go into any of the other colleges, and you've taken all your core credits and stuff during that time frame. I was the last class that went through that U college. We didn't get a chance to finish because 3 weeks before the start of the fall semester, she came out and said, I'm dissolving U college. Effective immediately, you go directly into your main college's curriculum. You're not in the pre-colleges anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm at a 3.0, 3.5. My whole idea was finish up with the pre, go into CCM and go into communications. That
Mm-hmm.
was my game plan. But in order to get into that world, I had to take the prehistory dynamic in order to get there. So 3 weeks before classes start, I have to re-register for classes. Because of her decision, I'm taking 4 history classes at the exact same time
That's painful.
because of her decision. And I went from classes that was 20, 25 students to full-fledged 150, 200 lecture style classes as a new parent with 2 kids.
Okay.
So
Now,
and the destruct and what happened was that their rate of dropout after that happened and all the changes that she implemented started tanking. That's why they started to try to push for her to get out.
yeah.
Along with you had Rick Mentor there as the head coach of the football team. They was okay. Kennedy kept it rolling for a little bit, but then after Kennedy, it was, what do you want to do? And the whole dynamic of the school, the whole this is UC that was rah-rah during that time frame, the luster was gone.
Yeah.
It took for them to do all of the renovations around around Jefferson, around Calhoun, to do all that building and that renovation that started to come in the mid to late 2000s to get
Mm-hmm.
it back to where it was a semblance of what it was beforehand. But that was also after she got out,
Mm-hmm.
because the only thing that she was worried about was the dollars and cents. She
Mm-hmm.
wasn't worried about the academics. She wasn't worried about the student body. She was worried about the budget. And that was the other reason why they got Huggins up out of there, was because Huggins was the main part of the athletic department's budget.
Yeah.
So, and she didn't want to pay him. Everybody else, all the boosters was like, pay him. I don't want to pay him that. He don't deserve that. And it helped usher him out. And and
Mm-hmm.
like I said, not condoning anything that he did, but that's what took him down there. That's what took him down that path. But in light of everything that we just was talking about, when I say the idea of the mediocrity, Wes Miller got up there and was sitting up there saying, I think what you saw today was the reason why we're going to be a great team this season.
I saw that. And that's why I sent you that wow with the dot dot dot. I didn't know what else to say to that. I'm like,
Let me explain something.
yeah, that's
Let me
not that's not
let
what you say, especially not after that game. That would be like a coach either from Michigan or Ohio State saying something like that to
that's
try to
like
get into
Ryan
the
Day
playoff.
saying that's like Ryan Day saying after they lost to Michigan, we're going to go ahead and win the national championship, and we're going to laugh at y'all face because we are a great team. And nobody at that moment would have believed that he was the truth after what they saw against that game against Michigan.
Yeah.
But you have, and Lance McAllister is who I've listened to. I listened to him throughout all my travels when I used to go up to Mason and go pick up my mom in the 2000s and everything else. And that's where I got the love for doing the sports radio and everything from. When he popped up and he said, I'm over this shit. And he said it because you got Wes Miller, who's not from here, has never played here, sitting up there trying to tell Bearcat fans, hey, we're going to be good. And if you don't like it or you're not with us, don't be with us when we get out, when we start being successful. This is year 5, dude. You 1-4 against Xavier. You had a no basketball 101. If you have a small forward that is a foot taller than your guards, constantly getting switched into your guards to where he's almost perfect from 2-point land, what do? You switch to a zone. Oh, you know when he realized to switch to a zone? After
When
they
the game
got
was about
down by
over.
13 in the almost at the halfway point of the second half. That's when they started to come back. They actually took the lead. And what did dumbass do after that? Sit there and say, all right, we're going to go back to man. And what did the dude that ended up scoring 30 points on them do? Went right back to work on their guards. You are ranked 200th, not 100, not top 50, not top 25, in the 200s in 2-point shooting percentage, 3-point shooting percentage, and you're almost in the 300s in free throw percentage. There's only 300 some odd teams in college basketball, in Division I college basketball. So you're in the bottom. You're in the bottom. So how in the world are you going to sit there and try in your infinite wisdom to sit there and say, "Oh, we're going to end up being a good team"? Where? The whole
So,
the whole you have they kept on talking about on the news on the broadcast. They kept on talking about they have the highest rated recruit in UC since Lance Stevenson.
mhm.
Here's the problem with Lance Stevenson. Lance Stevenson was good when he was there, but he will never be considered one of the greats of UC basketball.
No.
So just because he was ranked high, this guy that they had out there, when I tell you there was times where he looked like he was listless out there, he just looked like he was lost. They had plays to where they were pretty much Harlem Globetrottering the ball at the top of the key. Run a pick, somebody come around, get the ball. They stand there, run a pick, somebody come in and get the ball. No offensive flow whatsoever. And then they would chuck up a shot that was air ball. They hit more air balls and missed more free throws than they made in that second half. As a diehard UC fan, and in my household, it's bad because I attended UC, and my brother attended Xavier. So the first message I put out there on Friday morning was, "Good morning, everybody, except my brother." My granddaughter goes to the preschool on Xavier's campus. I said, even her, she can get it today. That's how deep that rivalry is. So for me to sit there and watch that BS on Friday night and then
Mhm.
hear that on the back end of it, I don't have nothing to say whatsoever with UC. Nothing. You cannot, you cannot expect for the diehard UC fans to be behind a smug, thinking that he's above the rest, mediocre coach.
Who is who that statement that statement when I read it,
You don't understand how bad I wanted to throw my phone when I heard it. Like, are you what?
I I I get what he's trying to do, and unfortunately for him, it's gonna fail just like it does most times when you have a coach that that speaks publicly, because however you speak publicly is 9 times out of 10 how you gonna speak privately.
Mm-hmm.
And and that's why I'm one of those people that I can be professional, I can be nice, I can work with anybody, but I'm not gonna fake what or how I feel. If the fundamentals of the situation are what works best, even if I rub people the wrong way, I'm gonna stick with the fundamental what works best. So uh yeah, that no. And I'm like we've talked about, and I've joked about it, I've laughed about it, but this situation I can't honestly laugh about it. I think that a lot of these coaches need to really pay attention to the players on the teams that are winning and listen to these interviews, because I feel like they're not listening.
No.
You can coach your team. It's okay. You can let them know when you're not happy. You can give them the feeling of, hey, I need to go out here and I need to do what I know I'm supposed to do because I really don't want to go to that sideline and have to deal with coach. But again, we live in this era where people feel like they are everything about a job, everything about a team, and those teams end up suffering. Like I had to deal with a couple of keyboard warriors online trying to get back into like posting into groups and uh there was a couple of times where I didn't proofread before I posted it, so then I had to deal with that keyboard warrior. And then the one that has actually answered the question decided to be a keyboard warrior when it came to TO and Megatron.
Mm.
Said said it was TO. If this is a question, you're an imbecile. And so I went down TO's entire uh the reality of his situation. Other than his numbers, he didn't do anything.
No.
Don't bring up the Super Bowl because he was out in week 13. He forced himself into that Super Bowl. He wasn't even
Mm.
supposed to be playing.
Nope.
So what did he do that you would say that it shouldn't even be a question of if somebody would pick TO over Megatron?
Megatron, if he would have been on any of T.O.'s teams, would have been a multi-time Super Bowl MVP.
Yes. And Jerry would have been happy. Jerry would have been happy. Jerry would have been happy. They probably wouldn't have had to have gotten rid of Parcells.
Nope.
And hell, he took New England to a championship. He didn't win, but he took them.
Right.
So Jerry would have at least gotten the NFC championship out of it. So uh man, look, we gotta quit. Don't leave out. Don't not focus on details when we're analyzing things. You got to focus on the details. You got to focus on the truth. That's why, even though this year has been kind of wonky, I feel like a genius because most of the teams that I saw win, whether I actually won the game on my picks or not, it was amazing. No matter what the score was, whether they were down or whether they were up and they had to come back or whatever, however it played out. There are teams that understand that they have run game and they're sticking with the run game for 4 quarters.
Yes.
And
Yes.
it's like, gee, somebody kept saying this. Who was that guy? Oh yeah, it was me. The guy who didn't play on that level. The guy that has been sitting on the couch watching for years. That's been watching the game, seeing what works, seeing what doesn't. Everything true enough. Nothing is 100%.
No.
Your offensive line has to do something. But I honestly feel like, speaking of, because there was one team that should have stuck with their run game and they
Who?
didn't and they lost. KC. They should have stuck with their run game.
I mean, we both picked Houston
Right.
because Houston's
I
defense
I
was going.
picked Houston because I didn't want to lose. I picked
I
Houston
mean,
because, but oh wait, I did pick Houston.
yes.
Oh, good. I was mad. I thought I lost that game.
No. Houston.
Like, okay,
Houston thought that Kansas City was.
so I did smarten up. Well, their offensive line, and I still say it, they changed the wide receivers that they had. They should have never changed the wide receivers that they
Yeah,
had.
yeah.
And once again, I'll say it again because I said it to my son last night. Looks like I was right again. Travis Kelce should have retired when they won that last Super Bowl. I said it.
I got a feeling. Son tells me now that the streak is complete, is officially over, because now they're openly fighting for a wild card. And folks, we're transitioning to the NFL. I'm done talking about Cincinnati stuff. I ain't even gonna talk about the Bengals really. I told Dante that I have nothing to say on the Bengals. I mean, it is what it is. I'm used to it. I was waiting on that shit to happen.
The way that defense played, I felt for the Bengals the way I felt for KC last night because KC's defense, they tried. Chris Jones came out after halftime with you should have seen like a wick on fire coming from behind him. He turned into the monster that we knew him to be. And then Patrick uh came out and at the beginning of the fourth quarter, and I still want to know why he threw that pass.
I don't know why.
Y'all were moving the ball. You were moving the ball just fine. Why did you need to just throw that pass? And they got all these speedy receivers, and it don't look the same when they had Scanling and Smith Schuster. It don't look the same when they running the crossing routes. And Patrick is so up under pressure because he don't trust his line that he's throwing behind people, including Kelsey.
Is it to? Is this something? This is something I watched because I watched the second half of that game.
Okay.
Do you think the hits that he's taken up until this season is starting to now affect his clock in his head, and two,
He don't trust that line.
I get 100%. They said on the broadcast that the starting right tackle was somebody that they cut during the preseason, and they brought him back because they're out of bodies.
Yeah, they brought it. They cut him. He went to who did they say he went to? He went to the Jets. He didn't play, and then they brought him back, and then they had to start him. But you know what? I get that dude kudos. He
Because he
didn't
was
have
playing.
he didn't have not one penalty until the fourth quarter, and the game was already over.
Mm-hmm.
I'll give him his due. They should have never cut him. Maybe they should have kept him, and maybe he would have been ready
Would
already.
be able to
And
develop.
and hopefully he wouldn't have had injuries and been injury prone like everybody else on that line. That's the thing that's killing them. You want to kill KC? You can't kill KC. Their line, they kill themselves because their line kills them.
Yeah, and it was everybody hates the death of a dynasty. I've lived it with my Lakers twice. I've lived it with
Mm-hmm.
my Warriors. We watched New England's disintegrate to now they're in their rebirth phase now. It's Kansas City's time. The only person that's going to be left from that dynasty, probably in the next couple of years, will be Patrick. And he's not, and he can't do this forever.
Right. And
Travis,
and
Travis got. Here's the thing. Travis had George Clooney on his podcast this past week. Him and his brother,
okay.
and he's marrying Taylor Swift.
Yeah. He got
Travis
too
ain't
much
worried
going
about
on.
football no more.
Yeah. Well, I'm not gonna say that. I think, but
I'm gonna say it.
I do think here's what I think. I think he spread so thin that he's
And
not understanding what most people need to understand. Because if you notice most of the a good percentage of the players that's not playing as well as we're used to them playing, all of them got commercials.
Yeah,
All of them got something
everybody
going
got
on
stuff.
besides sports.
But this is the thing: the
And
older
it,
the older you get, the more work you have to put in order to stay at the level that you're at. Kobe
yep.
showed us that. Mike showed us that. Adrian Peterson showed us that.
Hmm.
All these players that then sat there that you will see in the gym more in order to keep themselves at the level, you can't do that if you're worried about you gotta record this podcast. Oh, I gotta fly overseas to be with my future wife over here with that. If you cannot play football, have one foot in, one foot out. You can't. Because when
Yeah.
you have one foot in, one foot out, you either A, get replaced by somebody that's hungrier than you, or two, you leave yourself open to get cracked and get hurt.
Yeah, and I got no beef with Travis. Travis is
Either.
awesome, and he's done a lot of great things. And I actually feel bad for him in a sense because he came back because he really in his mind he really wanted to
Oh,
right
that's
the
the other
shift, right the ship. What's
this the
up?
other thing. He said something during that interview with George Clooney that made my ears kind of perk up.
Okay.
He's in the last year of his contract. You want to
Hmm.
know what he said was one of the things that hurt him um when he got drafted?
What's that?
The Bengals passed on him.
Well, I mean, you're a hometown guy.
You Ohio guy. You went to UC, so you spent up in Cleveland to come do there. You were. He said he was genuinely upset that UC passed him. I mean that the Bengals passed on him. Could it happen? Could he become a Bengal on his way out the door?
Not something I would want to see for him.
I'm not saying that it. I'm we Cincinnati's gonna have to do something for the nostalgia aspect of it because yeah, I am gonna talk about the Bengals for a second too. Um, no, because this just happened today, and this is gonna be one of the ones where I'm gonna be up there like son of a bitch.
Hmm.
Uh, but it could happen. There is an inkling if they offer him something for him to be able to come home and he doesn't have to be the number. He can be in there in certain slots of it. If they're not going to resign, because here's the thing: Andy Reid's not going to bring him back. He's not going to bring him back. It's over. So if you get a chance to play out your string as a number two tight end, or in the two tight end set at home, not looking that bad.
Yeah, but that's not one of their problems. They fine
It's
from
not.
that
It's
aspect.
not. That's why I said as a number two, they're not going to pay him number one money. He's not.
Yeah, but
The other part of it, but the other part of it, you're
who
gonna
are
have to
all
wait
they who
draft.
are all UFC's who are all the Bengals tight ends
Um, Tanner Hudson, Mike Gesicki, uh,
and Fant, right?
Noah Fant, Noah Fant's on a 1 year deal. Um, I forgot who the other one was. I'll pull that up now. I think two of
Is Yossi
Gesicki's the
Vosh
only
a
one
wide
that
receiver or a tight end?
he's a wide receiver.
Okay. You're fine on that aspect. Your line
What
is the problem. The defense is the problem. What's wrong? Sports or wrestling? Oh no,
sports?
wrestling ain't on yet.
Sports.
What's
Guess
up?
who the Colts are bringing in for a workout?
Russell or
Philip Rivers. Because Leonard got hurt yesterday too. They have no
Jones,
other quarterbacks. Jones is done for the season. His Achilles
right?
is gone. Then Leonard got hurt during the game. His knee, they saying he's day to day with his knee. Richardson's still on IR. They have no active quarterbacks on that roster.
And not that you would, not that anybody would want Richard in after what Jones did. Nobody, nobody. He basically is a
He's Deshaun
is
Watson
a
with the Browns.
yeah, yeah,
That's the easiest way to put that. But
yeah.
yeah, that's wow. I never thought I would see that name again. Wow.
Wow. Hey, blame Joe Flacco. See what Flacco got people doing. And got you gonna have everybody coming out of
That,
retirement. It's
shit.
like
Hey, if I no trade deadline had passed, shit, I would have been like, "Hey, Bengals, what can we get to get Flacco?"
no, I remember he was over there. It didn't go well because they line was just they, they
Uh,
they
uh,
line was they line was no. So that's how Richardson ended up back in because they put Joe in. They brought Joe over after he did so well with Cleveland. They thought he was gonna do something. The line got Richardson killed, and then and then Flacco got killed, and they was like, oh well, nope, Flacco ain't the answer. And it's like, okay, all right, so okay, now I know that this is probably going to get me a reaction, but he's part of football, so we gotta talk about him. Uh, what do you think of uh Shador and how he's doing right now?
I am perfectly okay with Shador and what he's doing right now. I am perfectly okay with it. I if I could sit there and say he proved me wrong with it so far, I can say he's proved me wrong with it so far. Check in here. No, it's up in no on the wall. On no in there on the wall. On there. Sorry. Um, when when it comes down to it, when it for the issues that I had with him for it, he's adapting. He's showing, but if anything, he's putting egg on the face of everybody that sat there and didn't advocate for him to get first team reps, that didn't push for him to get reps more out of the preseason just because they thought because he's a 6th round pick he was going to be in there for it. He's done everything he was supposed to do. Now he's been named the starter for the rest of the season. Kudos to him. Now, young man, you have 4 games to prove that you should be the man going forward. Now, when it comes to Cleveland, Cleveland's still a shit show. Taking him out on a 2 point
That's
conversion,
yeah,
that was stupid.
yeah.
Taking Deshaun Watson off of injured reserve, knowing that you're not going to play him, but you're bringing him back into the building, you trying to stir some type of drama.
Yeah.
Because
Well,
what's
I
the
mean,
point?
at,
But
at, at,
what's the point?
at the what's the point? That contract? Like,
Right,
no,
I
bro,
get that.
you need to
But you
bring
had to pay
come
him
on
no
into
matter
work,
what. You had to
right?
pay him no matter what if he was on
And
IR.
and
He's on
and
IR.
no, 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 no. If he needs to be in there, he needs to be doing something to make from a business standpoint, I completely get the fact that he is no longer on IR. Like, you up and able to get around. Well, sounds to me like you need to get back to work there, son.
Yeah,
Um, you,
but
even if it's he's on the sideline and he's trying to help your door. He's on the sidelines. He's trying to help Shador, and he's trying to help Gabriel figure it out from his standpoint with the state of the line and what it is. He put egg on my face only because of the fact that I said I did not want him to I did not want him to start in Cleveland. I always knew that there was a chance that he could do what he's doing now. I just the shit show, as you call it, that is Cleveland. I didn't want that to like stunt his growth as it has as stuff like that has with so many players. They end up getting called garbage, and then and then if they stay too long, they end up being complete garbage for the rest of their career. And I don't want that for Shador. I want him to get a legit chance so that a legit, reasonable chance. That way, if you say anything bad about him from this point, it ain't got nothing to do with his daddy, and it's got 100% to do with
Him.
what he does on that field.
And when it comes down to it, this is the best slash worst case scenario all in one.
Yeah.
Because the best case scenario, he's showing his talent. He's showing that he was not a 6th round draft pick value for it.
Well, I mean, we
And
know that.
hopefully it's making it to where other teams are taking or other teams that are looking for a quarterback, their antennas is up. Because you could probably get him in a trade if Cleveland now, and this goes into the worst case scenario. You bring in Cleveland in money. You bring in eyes into Cleveland.
They named him the starter officially. I would be only because it's Cleveland. I won't be completely shocked if they cut him. Just because of their decision making. But I I I have a feeling that with them naming him the official starter when that didn't seem like that was going to happen at all. I got a feeling that with the money he's bringing in, plus he's looking like if they do some tweaking to that offensive line to make it a little better, because not only do they need it better for him, but they need it better for Juckins.
They have the
And
weapons. They just don't have
yes,
the offensive line. Because even Fannin and Joku as your tight ends are you got two tight end, and then you can put Judy and then pick up somebody and put them as the other wide receiver.
and they don't necessarily have to be a speed demon.
No,
Hopefully
they can
everybody's
possess
learning
another
from the
possession
mistakes
receiver.
of KC. Hopefully everybody's learning from the mistakes of KC. You don't need a bunch of world beaters. You just
Need
need some.
one,
You
and
need competent. You need people that are competent at the position.
it's that's why I hope. Part of me hopes that Cleveland doesn't fuck it up. But the same reason, but the same reason why I say Cincinnati does Cincinnati shit, sometimes Ohio does Ohio shit.
And Cleveland has done that a lot because this ain't the first time that they've had like good pieces on offense.
No,
And but because of the offensive line and the quarterback and the quarterbacks that they chose because of that offensive line, it all went to crap. Um same thing about uh
when
uh
Baker was there,
Buffalo. Yeah, those were like the two best the two best quarterbacks that have ever been in Cleveland. Bernie and Baker.
mm-hmm. And Baker is showing what happens when you get out of there early enough.
Yeah,
You have some type of talent.
Baker, Stafford, Darnold, Jones. God, that hurt me, man. It was like to see him get hurt. Like, man, he did all this to show everybody,
I,
like, hey, I
I
could play
my
the
heart.
game of football. I could play the game. See y'all, I could play the game of football, and it's
But
really. But the other thing it's doing, if you're the New York Jets, if you are the New York Giants, Darnold. and Jones are making y'all look more horrible than y'all already appear. It's like, wait,
It comes
that
down,
that was y'all quarterback.
but it's sad. It's sad. It's no, it's not sad. It comes down to what we've talked about. You can have in this day and age now with football, especially in the NFL, if you marry a good coach with a good quarterback, the sky's the limit. Look at the Rams with Stafford, and their coach. Look at Kansas City up until this year with Mahomes and Reed. Uh, with Sirianni and Hurts to a certain extent with Philadelphia. When you marry a good coach with there, it's fine. Then you have teams to where the quarterback is good, the coach is horrible. Bengals. Shoot. Shit. Who else can we put in that category? Jacksonville. I'll put Jacksonville, but with their previous coaches, I think Cohen is starting to
Yeah,
find his way with them with that now.
yeah,
The
because they're back to having that issue of their line is just not consistent,
yeah,
and it because when they're firing, their defense is competent, but
yeah.
that's most teams. It's like between Flacco and Joe. Joe 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 gets it. Joe gets out there, lines a little better than it was for Flacco. Golden really he's had some time with the players. He had some time to work with them, see what's going on, see what's what. Now you see the unfortunate potential. It's like Jesus Christ, if Joe doesn't get hurt, and
But see,
as much as I hate to say it, if Cam Taylor Britt had gotten hurt sooner, um,
but and that goes into the other thing when it comes to that. Not even Cam Taylor Britt, Trey Hendrickson. Because you saw the news that came out this evening, didn't you?
no,
He's out for the rest of the season. He's
well,
having abductor muscle surgery on his stomach. That's going to put him out for 6 weeks. They just announced it the back end of the day. So
so between his hip. Now my question is this: how long has this been an issue, especially after what happened with Sam Hubbard?
so here's my issue. For everybody that was yelling, they need to sign Hendrickson, and they were saying they didn't want to sign him to a long-term deal because of his age and what has he done. I think, wait a minute, who said that just because you did it for a couple of years, though? That was me. And what
but
did they do? They gave him a 1-year deal, and he's played a total of 4 games.
yeah, I think I would love to know that when it comes to these contract negotiations, I would love to know like the actual status, and if the doctors are consulted, if the
They
team
have to because
doctors
they have to pass
are
the physical in order to get signed. That's a part of
right.
the contract. I
Right,
but
but also like hey, is there anything that's not on the official? They go down like, all right, look, is there anything that's not officially put out there that you're not allowed to officially put out there that I may need to know since I'm about to sign this dude?
it,
And
it's
eh,
sad because he's never going to get the money that he thought he was supposed to get. It's done.
somebody will give it to him.
But it's not going to be nobody that's not going to be playoff worthy. They're not going to be stupid to make that investment.
But the thing is somebody's going to make that investment, and and like we've talked about, people can see that the cons outweigh the pros, and they'll do it. That is the nature of the beast that we live in, and it hits on all phases. It hits in the household, it hits at work, it hits out in public. It and people don't. I've had people dismiss the fact that a lot of the stuff that we do can be tied in with life in general. I had my youngest son do that to me one time when I was trying to talk to him because he lives for playing games on like whatever the highest difficulty is. He
Mm-hmm.
lives for it.
He likes.
And he'll go look at the walkthroughs on YouTube, and he'll study
Yep,
them,
that's me.
and then he'll go back, and he'll be like, yeah, let's do this. And it's like I'm that to a certain extent, but for the most part, I just want to chill. Like I play the Bleach Brave Souls. I do that like completely normal. I didn't look for a level or anything like that. I don't even know if there is one that you could change around on this, but most of it is played on online anyway. So well, a good chunk of it, like when you go on the quests and the actual brave battles, you basically the only thing you get to do is pick and power up your players. They actually fight on their own. You have no actual control over it. So, but yeah, it's and that's what people have to understand when they're analyzing this thing. That's why I still joke with people all the time. I don't bet because you're betting on people at work. I will not do it.
And I don't. And my biggest thing when it comes to with the takeaways to this is when you came into this season, I said I wasn't gonna talk about these motherfuckers. Uh, when you came into the season, the fanfare was okay. This is it. This is it. Everything's coming together. We're gonna put it together. And what this season showed you was that without the head of the snake, nothing moves. Without the two fangs of the snake, nothing eats. But that rattle that was on the back end of it, or you cut that bad boy off and it still don't change anything. Because the
Mhm.
defense, even when he was out there, the defense looks better now than it did when he was out there playing.
Right, but he
But
was
could he have,
also we knew a good percentage of those games he was playing hurt. And
but
so
see, that's the whole thing. And that's where it's like, are you playing hurt to try to make sure you maximize your contract for your next contract? Or are you playing hurt for your teammates? Because it's kind of ironic that you go out with this abductor injury that's putting you out for the rest of the season when you're technically one loss away from being out of the playoff picture altogether. And you've been dealing with it for weeks. Your team has been struggling for weeks. Their
and
their number
and
one
and,
draft
and
pick, their number one draft pick ain't been on the field about the same amount of time as you have.
and that's why I say I'm not worried about your pride. Go sit down.
Yeah. And you want to know who also is a sad, it's not a sad case of it, but is a kind of similar case to that. Jones. Jones has been fighting. He had been dealing with a left calf injury for weeks. And what have we been saying? And somebody posted it today where they said Indiana is the only place to where their star player that could lead them to the promised land both toward their Achilles on the leg that they was trying to fight through an injury on in order to keep playing for their team.
Not quite. So if I remember them saying because they talked about it on Peacock, he had one injury in the right leg, and
So
then the
it was his right calf, but they said the reason why he planted the way that he did was because he couldn't put all that weight on that right leg in order to follow through and throw.
gotcha.
So him trying to nurse, basically trying to rock when he throws in order to take that pressure off that right leg and still fall through with the ball. He
Yeah.
planted that right leg into there and that Achilles snap.
Mm.
It is sad because just like Halliburton when he went out, when you can't, if you have something wrong from your knees down, your body automatically tries to adjust on its own. It's like it's subconscious. It tries to adjust in order to keep your balance. So it's going to strain other parts of it in order to keep what's hurting or what's ailing you from hurting as much. So and especially when you're in a fast pace, it's a difference from us walking up and down steps or anything else like that in order, if we got shin splints or something else in order to offset that. If your shin has a muscle that's inflamed or whatever else in one leg, your other leg, whenever you're trying to plant or jump or follow through on there, you're jumping off that leg. You're putting more torque on that leg, on the other leg. So when you watch that play and he had that quintessential step on that back of that foot in that one motion, and you see it go twing, and it's a wrap. And it was, and I felt bad for a lot of people yesterday, but him and Zach Ertz was two to where I literally was grabbed some tissue because I was like, there is no way that this is fair. Even with that, because
What happened to what
huh?
happened to Ertz?
Ertz is done for the season. He got hit. He went for a pass, and you can look it up. He went for a pass from Brissett, and the line, and it made me flash back because it's kind of how I tore up my knee. He was jumping for the ball, and the corner came in at such speed to where when he hit him, like if this is his leg going straight down, when
Uh-huh.
he hit him, his leg went forward almost 45 degrees while his body was doing this. So his from his knee, not his whole leg, at his knee, it went forward 45 degrees. So he
Gotcha.
tore his ACL, he probably tore his PCL, and he damaged his MCL because he got hit so hard. He got hit with the corner coming frontward, and he somersaulted forward with his after his leg got hit like that. He flipped over the guy, and when he came down, they was like, He was on the sideline. Mariota went over on the sideline and prayed over him. You saw I forgot who else it was. You saw somebody else on the side. You saw Daniels just throw his helmet and just start crying. And Ertz was crying because he knew he was done. Ertz might not be back. That's how bad that would. Because they showed
Well,
it's a follow.
well,
I gotta follow him. But it's a follow on IG. Whenever any of those injuries happen, they literally show the diagram of like on the body and show what tore, what caused it, and everything else. It's real in depth. And when they showed that, they said your knee, from your knee, your leg should be able to flex at most 30 degrees from straight like this at that knee joint where you don't have to worry about anything tearing. Anything beyond that, everything's for everything is like even the parts that encapsulate on the side of you, on your ligaments on the side of your knees can pop after you get past 30 degrees. So they don't know how deeply intent his injury was last night. But he got carted off. They thought he was okay. They just helped him off of the field, and they just like, we'll get you into the blue medical tent. as soon as they figured out that they could basically move his leg and his knee whichever way they wanted to, they put him immediately in an air cast.
Well,
So
I
it
mean, that's why, who was that? There was somebody that me and you were talking about who went out and everything was like completely done in his knee. And I asked you, I said, is he even gonna be able to come back from that? I can't remember what player it was. And I'm like, but basically, like everything was done in
Chubb,
that knee. Huh?
Chubb, Nick Chubb. Because we was talking about why would Houston even sign him when Cleveland gave up on him after he got after he blew out that knee completely. That was like one of our first like 5 or 10 episodes when
Okay.
we it happened with Nick Chubb because Chubb was the only one that legitimately had a. I think he might be the only one legitimately that possibly had the same injury as Ertz had because his knee got bent back like it was basically like somebody just took the bow and pushed it out and Chubb just came. He fought his way back. Is he the same Nick Chubb as he was before? No, he's similar, but he doesn't have that breakaway speed because once you tear all of those ligaments in your knee, trying to get back to where you are all the way 100%, you might have the strength, but you don't have that elasticity in order to have that speed. And then the arthritis part of it kicks in because it's never going to be right from what it originally was. So it's sad.
Um, let's see. Had a couple of things that I was gonna bounce off you. Let me look through because I got too many of them. Some of them I'll probably just read over them, and I got my little stand over here. I think I'll talk about them in the. No, I'm not gonna talk about that. Get rid of that. Oh, 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 yeah.
Oh, what did you find?
I remember what I want to talk about.
Which
uh, God, let me find it. Yeah. Uh, the power of positivity. So the New York Eagles are apparently turning into the new day to try to get past all this.
I saw it. I thought it was AI, and then I searched it. I saw it. I said
No, it was on X. There's a young lady
the
that
reporter.
yeah,
I,
Ashlyn Sullivan. She posted about it.
I saw it, and I just sat there and I said, "You got to be kidding me." Did
Yeah.
they get rid of, but didn't they get rid of like the ping pong table and everything out of there to put up an inflatable?
I would make sure to every night to put your windshield wipers up. Apparently, we got another threat of 14 inches of snow.
Okay. Um. Okay. So I know they did it in Baltimore, and yes, they may have done it in Philly. I think they did it in Philly first, and then while he was hurt, Lamar turned around and did it. So, I,
Man,
just a big inflatable rabbit. I just, but if that's what it takes, winning's not enough of a motivation. Having having another championship, rubbing it in the face of Jerry Jones and all other naysayers, because you know that they gotta love whenever uh, uh they gotta love being able to like take the division and then make it to the NFC Championship and go, "Hey Jerry, this is how it's done." I, um, so, but that is wild though to sit up there and you need that to save everything. I still say that if they really want to right the ship, one or two uh one or two of the wide receivers got to go, and I believe they will be, because right now and then there's a question of what is going to happen with Hurts, because as much as you want to give the wide receivers some flack for uh while it's understandable what they're upset about, it's messing with the whole chemistry of the team. You gotta keep it real. You gotta keep it real on Hertz's end. And like, yo, bro, what's up? Cause you I get your attitude of I'm just out here to win games however I can, but you're literally looking like KC. You're literally looking like the Philadelphia Eagles after they went on after they lost the last 6 out of 7 after going 10-1. Only you guys are winning. So yeah, something's got to change on that because we know he can be better. We know he can play better. The question is what's the deal? You can't say it's the offensive line. I mean, they're not great. They've definitely taken a hit since last year. So he's not as protected. I will give him that, but still, it's not to a level of the way it's looking, the way they're playing. Though the wide receivers do have a point, even if the way that they're making that point might be messing with the overall chemistry of the team. Uh, uh, is that is a legit mess, and I don't think this is going to be like the mess that they had where people were questioning if Sirianni should keep his job. This is a mess in terms of them as individuals coming together, and the question might be, does he need to lose his job from from that standpoint, because it's clear that they're not all on the same page.
I think Sirianni's going to he's going to get a little bit of leeway because of the Super Bowls and the championship, but it's going to be 1 year of it. If it happens for 2 years in a row, then he's going to have to leave. It's going to be the same thing they did with Doug Peterson.
Right.
But to say that he's going to get fired this year, if they don't
No, no,
win,
no, 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 no. Is it a possibility because of Doug Peterson as an example, especially
no,
seeing that he was in Philly? Yeah, it
it's a
might be a possibility.
possibility. But I don't think. I think that they would get rid of AJ before they get rid of Sirianni, because you can replace, and you have seen in the draft, you have draft equity to where you could trade AJ and get something from him from one of these lower rung teams that's going to be up in the draft. He's not going to go back to Tennessee, but you can send him to a Jets who don't need a quarterback, or say that don't need a don't that can draft out of it and have one of these high rising wide receivers and try to bring them in order to fit them into it that fits into your dynamic. AJ is the last. I, is it just me, or has the real dominant diva age of wide receivers started to go away? Not saying the good, not saying the good ones that play and do what they need to do and get out there, but the look at me, wide receiver ones and one and a halves. You don't hear too much of the diva style of them anymore. Because you got to think about it. Justin Jefferson was one.
And people are worried about him and how
He
he's
didn't
feeling
check
right
out.
now.
I would expect that might be your swap.
Mm,
That
mm-mm.
AJ for Justin Jefferson. The only reason why I'm saying I know what you're saying, but the only reason why I'm saying that might be your swap for that because him and JJ McCarthy ain't working. His numbers in the past his numbers from
Yeah,
last season.
but remember, that's that's how AJ having a quarterback like JJ McCarthy is how he ended up in Philly. Remember, because he was on
True.
the Titans and everybody in Tennessee was pissed. They were I I wasn't shocked by it at all because the rumblings had been out there that he was not happy and that he was not happy and it was understandable. He wanted to be out there winning. He wanted to be getting the ball. Whoever he goes to. Now, here's one that might make more sense for him. The Raiders.
But who would you get back?
That would be the question. That would be the question. They might have to part ways with a draft pick or two or three or
Because
something because
because it's not
because you're not getting rid if you get AJ, you don't want to give away Max Crosby.
Max ain't
Uh,
leaving. Well, Max ain't leaving. Max, I've chalked that up. Max is not leaving, and Max is gonna live by the sword, die by the sword of being with the Raiders. And
which would make it all the more figuring out a way to get AJ. He would be the number one receiver because Bowers is a tight end. That would open things up for him a little bit. All they would have to do is work on that offensive line. They probably need another defensive piece or two. But work on that offensive line, which that should be like the flag staff of like every team in the league right now.
mhm.
Um, to work on the offensive line, and then you got your receiver one, and you got your star tight end, and you could just speaking of that, Jacoby Myers was showing out with somebody yesterday on a game that I was watching.
Jacksonville,
Yeah,
yeah,
which
he's
is
so bad.
which is hilarious because oh, he wasn't working out in New England. Oh, he wasn't working out with the Raiders. But hey, he's working out what? He's working out with the Jaguars?
Got a quarterback.
Know what you have. Know what you have. I knew when he was in New England that he had potential. But then again, even when Tom was there was a lot of receivers that they had gotten. They had potential. They just they didn't follow through on it. So I understood why they didn't stay. Like when they got Dante Stallworth. When they got Dante Stallworth from New Orleans, I was like, oh, all right, okay. But it didn't pan out. And when they got Gaffney, you remember Gaffney?
Yeah, yeah, I remember
Yeah,
Gaffney.
yeah. There was a whole bunch of wide receivers. Chad surprisingly was not the only one that went to New England and didn't work out.
No,
Um,
no, hell no.
but he was the most he was the highest on the uh on the hierarchy.
Oh
But
yeah,
but yeah,
definitely.
he definitely was not the only one that was a good receiver that didn't work out. But yeah, I hope they do figure something out.
I hope they do too, because it's like I don't want Dallas ain't making it. That loss kind of just kind of put them in. Some of the teams that everybody's holding out a false sense of hope for, they need to stop.
Well, I mean, I mean, I'm sorry. I do. as much as I hate to say it, it would have been nice if he had have been able to somehow pull off the moves that he made before the season started. Because the one thing that you look at them now, at least I do, and I go, well, what if you had been able to get them same players over to Dallas earlier in the season, gotten rid of Parsons if you were going to do it earlier in the offseason, and everybody started off the players that you have on the team now started off, maybe God forbid your starters don't get hurt. I would love to see how their season would have played out. It
I would
just and
for shits and giggles, yeah, I would have loved it, but at the same time, I can't stand Dallas. Dallas is
and
like Pittsburgh to me. I used to want to play against them playing Tecmo Bowl just so I could just sit there and just smack them in the face the entire time.
I couldn't do it. I loved Emmett. I loved Novacek. I loved
coming
the
around
Moose.
that end. I love coming around that end with with Charles Haley or Howie Long or even with Ronnie Lott if he had a running start, just blitzing through there and just cracking Aikman every chance I got, just to just destroy him. I couldn't even no. There's nothing you can do to make me like Dallas. Nothing.
Well, that's the thing.
It's one
You
person.
have a right to not you have a right to not like who you like. I
There's one
just
person in this world that could make me like Dallas, and that person knows who they are, and that's the only reason why I would like Dallas. That's it. Other than that, no, I can never like Dallas. Nope. There's nothing you can do at all. Oh God, damn it, no. All right, let's get to these picks because
all right.
this shit show. Damn it! How? How even on the games to where it was a layup for it to go the other way, it didn't go. Currently, with the start of Monday Night Football, you are 9-4,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm 8-5.
And who remind me who my losses were since I was clearly off because I thought I lost. I really did. I thought I went with KC.
We both went with Detroit. We both went with Seattle. We both lost Cleveland, which God damn, I wasn't expecting that from Tennessee. We
I
both
yeah. And that was another thing that I wanted to talk about. I do believe that that earlier comment by Ward
yeah.
that I you got to say it sparked something. And then my God, the Saints. I know that was another game I lost.
We
I
both
knew
lost that one. We both
yeah.
lost that one. That was the
Yeah.
thing. We lost together. We lost together. We lost Tennessee, Cleveland.
Okay.
We lost Minnesota, Washington.
Yeah. Good God.
And that's the two games we lost together.
And the thing that makes me mad about that one, I know what Minnesota's defense is capable of.
Yeah.
But
And
because
I wasn't
of the
expecting it.
state of what's going on with their offense, I know that's part of the reason why they're inconsistent. Part of the reason. Not totally the reason, but that's part of the reason why they're inconsistent. That and they got a coach and they got a coordinator that loves the blitz and living and dying by the blitz can leave you dead, especially when you got an offense that's in a flux like Minnesota has it. So, damn. But wait, so wait, if I'm 8-4, if I'm 9-4 and you 8-5, who were your extra two losses?
The Jets and
Oh yeah, that's right. You did go with the Jets. Yeah.
the Colts.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Yeah.
The Colts one hurt. That's why I said I almost shed a tear because that game should have been way more competitive than what it was. And
But the way they had been playing against tougher defenses, and I know the Jaguars. It's a divisional game, and at the end of the day, the Jaguars do have a tough defense. So I had a feeling the way the Colts had been losing to teams with really tough defenses that could stay after Jones. I had a feeling. I'm like, yeah, I don't want to go with the Jags. I don't trust it, but I gotta go with the Jags on this one. Um,
that's sidebar. So it might be a mea culpa between LSU and Ole Miss. So four of LSU's assistants that came over with with um with the Benedict Arnold.
uh-huh. Wow, I haven't heard that. I haven't heard that one since NWA. That's like
um are going back to Ole Miss to help the team, to help coach and prepare the team for the Bulls, for the CFP. So they didn't let him go back, but they allowing the assistants that went with him to come back to come help with the team.
and I think that probably has something to do with the fact that uh while they did make a choice to go with him, all that petty crap that he did because they didn't want to allow they didn't want to allow him to do it. I think that might have something to do with it.
Yeah, but I would have thought that you would have see at the end of the day, and this is where the pride and the
Which
egos come into play for it.
which also says that whatever was going on between them was deeper than just that. Um,
It was
there
deeper than
was yeah.
it,
So
but the the biggest thing, uno momento, child is calling.
all right, while you doing that, I let's see here. What was some other stuff I wanted to talk about? Um, let's see. UFC. Shador. Yeah. So during the game on Sunday, everybody was speculating if there was an issue between uh uh um Jerry Judy and Shador. So this past week, Shador threw him a pass, and after he got done celebrating, they met and got down on one knee and embraced each other in the end zone after they connected with a pass. Daniel uh, Oyefusi, hope I pronounced that right.
Uh-huh.
Um, he posted the video of it on X. Um, it, it, you're gonna have Jerry Judy, that's part of the reason how he ended up in Cleveland. He wasn't completely bad in Denver, but he tends to be really vocal when he's not happy, and he don't care about he don't care how it comes off. And if I remember right, that's what got him.
That's what got him suspended.
That's what, and that's also what got him excommunicated from Denver.
Right.
And so him he had a way to the way I saw that when they showed it last week, and it was viral everywhere. He had a way that he saw the play, and Shador had a way that he saw the play, and they both strong-willed, strong-minded, and neither one of them was budget.
No.
Whatever the words was going back and forth, they did not see eye to eye on it. It happens. It wasn't something to try to turn into uh the next, oh, who got beef? Oh, is Jared Judy not happy with Shador? Oh, see, maybe he shouldn't be a starter. Oh,
It's
no.
one of the things
It,
that one of the things that people have to realize, especially when it comes to playing football and especially at that level. The relationship you see between Burrow and Chase is the exception to the norm.
yeah.
Everybody else, every receiver has this mentality. I'm always open. You can throw the ball within 150 yards of me. I'm going to catch it. Even if I'm quadruple covered, I'm going to figure out a way to go get it. And I didn't run the wrong route. You threw the wrong pass. That's just how it is. But when you got, that's why it's different when you had somebody that was the quarterback for that receiver in college or in high school, and then they got back together in the pros. That's why I hate the fact that Devontae Adams and what's it called didn't link up, didn't work out as well as they did when they was in LA. Uh, what's the brother that what's the quarterback that just retired? Sudden.
Uh, Derek Carr.
Bar. Yep.
Well, what happened was, if I remember right, as soon as Devontae got there, Derek got sent to New Orleans.
Yeah. It was the next year. They only played 1 year together.
Oh,
And
I
then
I don't I don't know why it seemed like they didn't even get to play that year, because it seemed like as soon and that's why I said if I remember right, because I think that's not the first time that I heard that I was off on the details, but um but uh but yeah, and Devontae wasn't happy after that, because he specifically
no.
came over there so that he could play with Derek Carr. All you had to do, and then the other sad part was so now you got quarterbacks that aren't as good as Derek, that need time behind the offensive line that still can't get right. And now you got Devontae there, which he's gonna do his job, and he's gonna be the
Right.
player that we know him to be, and he's gonna get his yards. But at the same time, he ain't completely happy. Which, speaking of, oh yeah, speaking of the team that you can't hate, let's I'm sorry, we got to do a 180 back to that.
Which one?
Uh, the Cowboys, and there's a specific reason. There's a specific target. Speaking of their loss, um, Pickens once again showed why, while he is a talent,
He's immature.
it just ain't worth it. They showed him taking plays off
Yeah.
during the game.
Yeah. It's not. But it's been known. That's
But
why I'm like,
and this is what gets me about I don't mind the narratives. You can like T.O. I don't have a problem with you liking T.O., but please don't act like please don't get complete amnesia. I will give him his due. Statistically, he is one of the best. Jerry is still better, but and physically, he's more gifted than Jerry. Physically, Randy is more gifted than Jerry, but statistically, the king is still one Jerry Rice until
exactly.
somebody takes him down. So therefore, if we're sticking with the narrative that the statistics and the Super Bowls is where it's at, because I know once your player that you really love, oh well we can't talk about him in the MVP conversation because he didn't get that many. Oh, we can't talk about him in the in the playoff situation because he was on a team that didn't get there much. Oh, we can't talk about him in the Super Bowl because oh they might have got to the playoffs, but the team around him wasn't good enough. Well, last I checked, when we're giving people kudos, we usually say that they were the reason that they got there. So if they were the reason that they got there, then they also have to be part of the reason why they didn't. Even if the reason, even if that reason is in the grand scheme of things in the chemistry of the team, him plus what was there wasn't good enough. Then
It's
unfortunately he does have to take some of the blame, whether he's the quarterback, whether he's the wide receiver. Okay, I'll take care of it tomorrow. I knew that was gonna happen. I knew it. I knew I shouldn't have did it.
What'd you do?
They got a thing in there that not now. Um
it's Pickens when it comes to the situation with Pickens. He was a headache in Pittsburgh. That's why Pittsburgh got rid of him. As long as he was the center of attention, he was cool in Dallas. But as long as the cameras was off him, he was right back to being the same old Pickens. It just so happens that the cameras were never off, and you got busted in your immediate response. And that what makes it even worse was the back and forth you went into with Richard Sherman after the fact. It's like, why?
yeah, I saw that too. That was another reason. That was another reason that and I must have deleted it or some. No, I know what it was. I was on Twitter and I saw it and I didn't sidebar it. That's what it was because I saw it on Twitter. Um, I was about to say I thought I had it as an article, but um, again, you can like who you like. Everybody has a right to like who you like, but make sure that the details, just like if I admit that I still like Heathcliff Huxtable, played by Bill Cosby, then I have to acknowledge that
What he did was what he did.
right. I have to admit what he was accused of. Yeah, he did a lot of good, but even I posted that online because somebody posted something about the band Trapped, and they have like they basically have the lead singer basically ruined what they had going on with some posts that he posted during COVID, and people have not forgotten. and, and one of them I just happened to be friends with who posted one of the posts today. So um,
It's just it's like,
and he's a good player, and it actually
but
annoys
that's
me.
the thing.
It annoys me how good he is because he's like literally shooting himself in the foot.
But this is what the diva era of wide receivers has. This is why I asked that question: is it dying? Because if
No,
but it is, Because, and here's the reason why. Before, we weren't calling out those type of antics as much as we are now. You got the Puka Nakuas. Who else is it that was in there for it? The Nico Collins. You got you can say Jamar except for the spitting incident. That catch the ball, do what they gotta do, and keep it moving. T. Higgins is the same way too. But then you got these ones, and you never see them take a playoff. They want to go block. They want to go. They said they might get a legal block in the back because at least they're trying. Not, oh, the ball ain't coming to me. Let me just stand here. Hey, so where we going? We going to roof Chris after the game with the opposite corner. We're not seeing that. So you're seeing a lot of people that take honest.
But there are also aren't a whole lot of them left. So
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
It's like I don't think it's completely dying.
It won't never completely die.
But and that's why I said no to it. It's like it's just gotten different because how many teams have like number one receivers? Nobody cares about Tariq, especially not it. That's who it was. It was Tariq. That's who it was.
Yeah.
I couldn't. You said who you said, but I was like, nah. Whoever it was, nah. No. It was Tariq because everything that's going on in Miami, and whether or not they are or are not gonna get rid of him, and then he went out from tearing everything in his knee. That's who it was. All you had to do was bring up the wide receivers, and it came back to me. It's like nobody cares about Tariq because he's down in Miami. So the pundits care more about him than anybody else does. So that's another reason why it seemed like it died down. And like who else can you name that has like a number one receiver really? There ain't a whole lot of number one receivers out there, which is another reason why it's died down. You got and that's why AJ and Devontae are looking so because it's like Tariq is hurt. And even if he wasn't, he's in Miami. They ain't doing nothing.
Right.
Nico's quiet. Jamar, he does smack talk, but other than that, he's quiet. Higgins is quiet. Devontae is chill. He's over there in he's actually I can't think of a time that he's ever been a problem.
No.
And you know, I might be wrong. I might be able to look up some stuff and find something where yeah, maybe he had some problems with some things. But even in an interview, I can't remember who was interviewing him. Even though he expressed his unhappiness, he was completely respectful about it.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, I think part of what they were asking him about was whether or not he was gonna go and try. I think it was around the time that everybody was trying to figure out if he was gonna try to go play with Aaron again when Aaron was with the Jets. Yes, that's the interview I saw. And he was completely respectful about Aaron. He was completely respectful about the Raiders, while at the same time expressing that he was in fact not happy. So yeah. So you don't have that dynamic until you get to like a George who he isn't proven enough yet, but yet he's acting like a diva.
It's just
we see the talent, we know it's there, but it's like, dude,
right.
there's levels. You got to get in and
play at those levels. You're not there. You're not the number. You're not even the number one in Dallas.
Yeah.
So what are you doing?
Well, he is right now. So,
but even with that, but that is a temporarily fix.
Right.
You will never be the full number one while he's there.
Right. So
that's why it's like, I can't even sit there and fathom what it is when it comes to that. Like, man, quit playing. You're not serious when it comes to that. Oh my
It's
God.
a lot of teams getting blown out in the women's. Seem like
No, yeah.
it seemed like
It,
every time I turn on the women's game, somebody getting blown out.
because
Like,
in the college basketball, we're gonna touch on that next week because Purdue getting wax poetic. Boy, that game, I caught that.
Creighton is definitely not what they were last year.
Oh no, they graduate class killed them. There's not. Uh, I watched Carolina's game against Kentucky, and that made me suspect to Kentucky. And then Kentucky turned around and played Gonzaga on Saturday, and that damn game was just an annihilation.
Yeah, I saw the score to that.
It
I
was
was
it was nowhere near close. That was just a boat race. That
yeah.
again, the
Oh,
word for this
I
is
saw the final
boat
score.
race. The word for this week is boat race because there was a lot of boat racing going on this week. It
Yes.
football, basketball, it was everywhere. It was just belt to BTA, belt to ass, everybody. It was bad.
Yes.
But then who else was it? Who else was it that I saw?
But I will say this about Carolina and Duke, because Duke pulled some wins out of their butt that they wasn't supposed to have had, and
Duke is going to be a problem.
yes, and that just gets me to my main point. I actually cannot wait till they play North Carolina this year. I'm all about it. I gotta be home. I might even do a live, whether it be from the group on Facebook or I'll try to make sure that I'm up. I got a Streamlabs figured out, which I need to quit messing around with this crap that I'm personal crap that I'm dealing with and get it together. Um, but yeah, I cannot wait for that game. Oh my God, I cannot
I
wait for that
I
game.
can't.
They play each other twice. I can't wait for neither one of them. I'm getting that old. I'm so glad. Elliot Cadeau. I don't mean to bring up UC, but I got to. Elliot Cadeau, thank you for leaving Carolina because they backcourt. Mm, I'm so
That
proud.
that freshman,
I'm so proud.
man, that freshman he is wow. That whole squad.
And he and no, for North Carolina, the weird thing about him is that he looks so immature. He looked like so many immature people that I have seen in one way, shape, or form, whether I actually had to be around them from a work standpoint, from school standpoint, from walking down the street, listening to them standpoint, sitting on the bus, listening to them standpoint. But yet, I don't get that vibe from him. When I
Bro,
watch him play, I don't get that
he
vibe
gives
from
me,
him.
you know
He
who
is
he gives me a vibe of?
who?
Um, what's the one that just graduated a couple of years ago? That was almost like a career point guard for them.
Oh,
Begin with an M.
M. Dad, go it.
Hold on, I'm about to search it because it.
But yeah, yeah. Both of them teams. I know I saw them lose to BYU, but that was that was understandable because DeBonza he about that life. DeBonza's about that life. And they kept it close, and they couldn't do nothing with him. It just like I said, they missing a big. Other than that, they missing a big, but I still like what I see. So man, it just
Oh my
uh,
god!
uh,
And not his name's going to make me mad.
uh did he go to the NBA?
He's not caught on in the NBA. That's the crazy part. He was nasty. He was with their last title team.
uh,
They don't even have him ranked as a top 10 North Carolina point guard. Was he a two? Joel Berry. He reminds
okay.
me. He reminds me of Joel Berry when Joel Berry first came in there because Joel would just seem like he was going through the motions, into the game, but had a when it needed to get that switch, he would click. He would switch that bad boy on and would be nuts. When him and Kobe White was back there together, whoo! That was when I used to sit there and be. I was like, that's my team. That's my
It
Carolina. That's what you do.
compared to last year, watching watching Carolina, especially that backcourt, it is like a breath of fresh freaking
Yes,
air, man. I just and I see the team play. I see the fundamental part of it. I see it all, and I just makes me so happy.
I know. This is gonna be fun. Oh my god.
So, Jesus. Um, let's see. Is there anything else?
I doubt it. We got picks.
Oh yeah. Let's
And
get to the picks because we got to let you do what you do.
yeah. Oh my
So
god. First game of the. Oh, by the way, no more buys. It is guns blazing for the next 4 weeks. So first game, Atlanta at Tampa Bay.
oh my God. Mm.
I don't know because it's like I don't know because can Atlanta even look as bad as they did? I
You
mean,
wouldn't
like,
think that they would be able to look that bad against a team
man, Bijan
against them
Robinson
without.
fumbling the ball just made me pissed at the world. Like, what are you doing? It's
Uh,
I don't know. I just part of me thinks that Tampa Bay bounces back because they at home.
yeah, I don't trust. I told you I don't trust Bridgewater. Um, just
But
because
Bridgewater ain't gonna play. What's it called? Ain't hurt.
who
What's
ba-
it called?
Baker's
Um,
back?
Baker was back last game, and they still lost to New Orleans.
Uh, well, I think between the Saints and the Titans, which if you remember, I questioned if this was a possibility, if they would how they would look by the end of the season.
Yeah,
So at the end of the day, I do believe that the Saints are going to be able to pull it back around because of the fact that uh they got the head coach that basically took the head coach who used to be an offensive coordinator that basically was the last time that Hurts looked really good.
yeah.
So I have a feeling that he will be able to figure something out for whoever's there, um, whether it be Tyler Shuck or whether they go back and try to draft another quarterback and unfortunately send Tyler Shuck out to pasture, which would be unfair because it's only his first year and it's not like he actually had anything to work with when he got there. And matter of fact, the only reason he's in there was because the starter got hurt.
Right. That's why I'm like, I can't. I don't want to sit there and just say Tyler is out, but
Wouldn't shock me if he was. I mean, they've been making a lot of questionable decisions since the days of the latter days after the championship with Sean Payton. They made a lot of questionable decisions,
It's
letting go of like every. It seemed like every time Drew got chemistry with wide receivers, they were gone the next year.
the only person that stuck it through. Well, no, because Michael Thomas just kind of got hurt and fell off the map. They
Right.
they drafted Olave. Olave's been hit or miss. They
And hurt.
drafted it hurt. Who else did they draft?
Kamara,
Kamara's been Kamara's been somewhat consistent. He's been hurt more lately than he was in the first part of his career. Then
right.
they had not Shazier. What's his name?
Uh,
He just went to Seattle in the trading deadline.
oh crap. Not sure. Um,
Uh, Seattle. Because he showed out yesterday too. Shaheed. Rashid Shaheed.
okay.
See, that's what I'm saying. Like they have people that could possibly be there for it, but it's like, nah, it could be. Like, do you really fight that battle too? Well, not even do you really fight that battle. It's like, what do you expect for them to do with what you have? It- New Orleans is going to be New Orleans. They're not going. New Orleans got their one chip. That's about good enough. I can't get mad about it anymore when it comes to like you did what you did. All right. Yeah. Y'all got that title to put the city on your back after everything was said and done. Kudos.
And
Next.
they definitely got diehard. They definitely got diehard fans. I'm gonna go with the Buccaneers just because I might as well go with my team because I don't I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to Tampa Bay because I'm in the same boat. All right, starting on Sunday, Cleveland at Chicago.
Uh, I guess I'll go with Chicago.
You know what? That defense. I'm going with Cleveland. Chicago got Chicago. Chicago this past game. What happened? Green Bay's defense was giving him fits.
Yeah, yeah, but I'm sorry. And it actually worked. I actually watched that game last night.
Uh huh.
Um, uh, yeah, they the fact that they lost to the Titans, Chicago is way better than anything. Say what you want about Caleb, uh, which which
Making me
uh,
rethink this. I'm trying to just hold on for
dude.
and I don't
Oh,
want to.
and plus that backup run, they are actually using their running game, and that backup quarterback. I'm sorry, Swift. Swift needs to take a back seat. Uh,
Yeah, yeah.
backup running back. Oh my God. He,
You convinced
the
me. I
backup running
forgot
back is
about
a problem.
yeah.
Now, the way the season's been going, I know I'm gonna end up with egg on my face. I know that there's some potential that I'm probably gonna end up with egg on my face, and I'm gonna be pissed because it's like I actually went to bat for Chicago and their defense and their running back, Caleb. I don't know. I'm totally with you on the Chicago thing, but the Titans. Cleveland lost to the Titans, and even though I watched the game, and if and speaking of that, Chicago should take everybody going forward. You remember what I used to talk about the old school fundamental plays of what people used to do against problem defensive ends and linebackers?
Yeah.
That's part of the reason why the Titans won because they started out the game running every play at Myles Garrett directly in his direction. Wherever he was, it went specifically at him. And for some odd reason, they were able to it the plays worked. That's how they got out to that lead like they did. Part of it. It was weird. My son asked me because I was watching the Monday night game and I had that game pulled up on my phone. So he was like, "Wait, he was like, wait, how are you watching two games?" I was like, "Oh, this is the Cleveland Titans game."
He's like,
And,
what? How possible?
right. It's like, but yeah, that um the
It's not gonna be.
whoever the offensive coordinator for them was has to have an old school. They have to be old school fundamentals. The fundamentals have to be a part of everything. Um, uh, and it does. Yes, you can give it a today feel, but it better be chocked full of. At the end of the day, the foundation is the fundamentals.
There's gotta be because it's
and
like
and
what
and you can branch off wherever you want to go from there and it better work, but the foundation better be fundamentals, plain and simple. So okay, so yeah, who's next?
Baltimore at Cleveland. I mean Baltimore at Cincinnati.
Oh damn. Oh damn. Good God, man.
I don't. I
Neither one of them are in a position.
the Bengals.
Well,
I watched it today. The Bengals have to win out. Uh, Baltimore has to lose two games, and one of them has to be against the Bengals, and Pittsburgh has to lose one for the Bengals to make the playoffs.
mm-hmm.
I can't keep on thinking that. So you're saying there's a chance in my head. I can't keep doing that. It's just it starts to
They
hurt.
still have a chance, and their record is 4-9. What?
That shows how much the AFC sucks.
Well, it's they division wins.
Yeah,
I get what it is. It's their division wins. It's because in the conference the only team with a winning record in their division is Pittsburgh.
yeah. So it's like I don't know. I don't
Yeah,
want to. I don't
and
want.
and and both them and the Steelers are tied in division wins. They both at 3-1. That's why Cleveland. That's why the Steelers need to only lose one.
I don't want them. I don't want this. This is what's killing me. Can't even. I can't even sit there and say I hate my team because they still have a freaking chance. It's like, oh, just lose in everybody's dreams.
Who is where is are the Ravens
Baltimore
here?
here. Baltimore coming here.
Uh, okay. Well, that does give me an option. So I'm gonna try to shoot my shot. Um, Actually, I don't know. That makes it a tiebreaker. Ugh. And then in the conference, they're tied. They're both 4-5. Jesus Christ. Ugh.
Not working.
Yeah, this is a crapshoot. You know what? Oh God. Uh, I'm gonna pick Cincinnati.
I am too.
I can't believe it because I've seen potential in the Ravens, but
Lamar,
I'm telling you,
it's
he's
over.
he's staying in the pocket. He's trying to prove it. Every time he takes a sack, it's because he's looking downfield, trying to get the ball downfield. You see it. You see him doing it. By the time he decides to run, it's already too late.
He hesitated on the one where he ran it in for the touchdown.
Right.
When he did that, I looked at the screen. I said, "Well, he's right. He doesn't want to run no more. He's gunshot. That's exactly what this is. He's gunshot. And it's not even close anymore. He's completely gunshot.
Yeah, and while I respect him wanting to get that title so that there's no question that he is the best of the best.
But that doesn't
Not
it
if it's costing you games.
exactly. It doesn't make sense if it's
If
costing games.
it's costing you games, no. At the end of the day, you are who you are. Go with what works, especially if you're winning. It's just that your fans need to respectfully remember what it is. It um uh, that at the end of the day, even though technically he's fallen off, Patrick is still the best when it comes to that. If you compare the two, because he has the Super Bowl wins, he has the conference championship wins and appearances. He hasn't.
Right.
You can tell me that physically, just like we just had a conversation about Jerry Rice. Even the year there were wide receivers that were more physically gifted than Jerry the year he got drafted. Guess what? Didn't matter. Super Bowls. Who was it? Statistically, who was it? He even switched teams.
True.
And although he slowed down because he had gained a few injuries and he was older, he still ran crisp routes. You still couldn't shut him down on his routes.
No, you couldn't.
That was the crazy part. It was like he slowed down because he was older and he had an injury or two, but you still could not shut him down from getting the ball on
Couldn't
his
do anything with
routes.
couldn't do anything with him. It was like, what?
He was
Why can't I stop this?
and that's why the only reason that Tampa Bay got that off was because unfortunately for them, the team that they played against knew all their plays and
True.
literally read them all in practice to the point to where John Lynch was sitting down. He's like, dude, we literally played against all these plays in practice. They caught him on camera saying that. And it's
It's
like
that's
because he
why
was
it's
mic'd up. He
he
was
was mic'd
mic'd
up
up.
on them. I remember that. That's why I'm like,
It was like so anybody that bet on that game was like, yeah, you got screwed. It wasn't by the refs, it was by the LA
Hey,
Raiders because they didn't change their playbook when the last coach left and John knew it. Oh man.
wow.
All right. So so
All
so so
right.
who we got
So
next?
Chargers at Kansas City.
All right. They got me week one, so and that offensive line. is not getting any better. And as much as I love Andy Reid, he's not getting the writing on the wall that
It's over.
it needs to get a little less away from Patrick and more to the run. And clearly in the offseason, they might want to reacquire some non number ones at wide receiver. Uh, and they might even need another
Tight end.
yeah, they're gonna need another tight end. They definitely need to spend as much money as they can spend on the offensive line.
You know what? I would draft and develop. I would not spend on these offensive linemen. I can't
I yeah,
because
yeah, but you
you have too many horses that's coming out of Big Ten that you can draft and rebuild your offensive line with that are doing
true,
it.
but but at the same time, you're gonna need a veteran or two.
You might need one,
Um,
possibly two. That's it. Because here's the thing: you keep on give me. I want to look at that. I'll take that on to look at free agent offensive linemen that have actually stayed as productive in their past win, their block and win rates in that following year. It's not too many of them, and that's
especially if
because
they're suffering injuries.
right, because
Yeah,
in most of the you got to think about a lot of the ones that a lot of the top ones that was out there, the Bengals got and they ain't work they weren't working.
yeah.
So it's like
Although Tunzel ain't doing bad, but he's with the Commanders,
right.
which
So it's
which
still
which I'm
Ole.
sure Kansas City is kind of I'm sure Kansas City is kind of eating that one, just like with Philly, and that's why I try to tell people when they're trying to paint these narratives of the Bengals, it's like, dude, the Bengals are doing everything everybody else is doing. It's more than that. It's more than what you're saying that it is, and that's me saying that while saying yes, feel free to blame the front office. Yes, feel free to blame coaches. But eventually you gonna have to trickle down. You still got some room to trickle down. And you
Mm-hmm.
ain't got there yet. And no, it's not just on the defensive side.
No,
Because let's just say whatever's not being said on camera, what's being said in the locker room. How are people feeling about that being said in the locker room? Let's face it, you work plenty of jobs just like I have. You could be telling somebody the dead on truth. What's going to be their attitude after you say it? That's the question. Are they going to be like, you right, I need to get this right, I need to get this together? Or are they going to be like, why you hating? Ain't nobody say nothing about you when you did this. They
no, they ain't gonna
deflect.
say that.
They
They ain't
they
gonna say that at
they
all.
they deflect. It's just, well, wait, well, what about you? You didn't do this here, how, and why? And like, okay, I'll give you that. Now, what do you say about what I said about you?
They don't get that part of it. They want to harp on the part that only
Mm,
affects them. I
mm,
don't care about
and,
that. I don't care about what you said to me.
and that's that's what the problem that's what the problem in a lot of relationships and a lot of organizations. When you at work, that's a lot of the problem.
Mm-hmm.
Accountability and ownership. People are quick to scream the word, but it's hard to actually follow through on it when you assess yourself, because it's way easier to tell somebody else what they need to fix than it is for you to fix what you got going on with you.
Oh yeah, always is.
So that's why human nature, that's why we always go to, well, I'm talking about you. We talking about you right now. Somebody could make a good point about you started off a campaign about some issues with them, and they go, well, will you do the same thing? Well, we ain't talking about me right now. We talking about you. No, 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 no. Don't do that. Accept it.
Yeah.
It does it. Although I will admit, because I've done it before, it does piss the person off more when you go, you right. Now, back to the original subject. You. I know I need to get that straight with me. But we are in fact kind of talking about you. You're not wrong.
But
Now, what we gonna do about your part in this that you're playing? And oh, you just a hater. You just hating on me. And I'm gonna go with the Chargers. Like I said, the Chargers got me week one. The a lot of the losses that I have, Kansas City has been giving me all season. Um, the Chargers, I don't know if I can trust them, but I don't know if I could trust Kansas City either. So I might as well go with the Chargers and see what happens.
see what happens. All right, Buffalo at New England.
Speaking of people I can't trust, all right. Huh. I want to go with the Bills. I don't know if I should. Oh, Jesus.
You know what?
I'll,
I'm
I'll,
I'm going to say this right now. I'm going with New England. The reason being, there's no way, shape, or form the Bengals should have been handling Buffalo like that on both sides. And that's not the first week we've seen that.
right.
And Cook was running. That's the other part. Cook was running, and they still was getting handled like that because they have no receivers. You got to figure out when Coleman's going to come in there. They happy that they got Dalton Kincaid back.
Right.
Shakir pops up whenever he wants to. They
Well,
don't have
he's
no
mostly getting doubled and tripled. So
right. So that
with
means Coleman should be eating right now, and he's snacking.
but you can't. That's because you can't trust him.
That's what I'm saying. So
It.
if you the only two people that you can trust on
Why
that
did they get rid of? Oh my God! Why did they give Hollis to?
Hollis was a free agent, and he went to New England.
Right, and I'm like,
He was a free agent. They didn't sign
you,
because they
you
thought Coleman was supposed to be bouncing up, was supposed to be trending up in
at
year two. He's
which
regressed.
which 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 he was technically, the question is what happened this year? I don't know if
He regressed.
it's like how do you regress when you were regressing your rookie year? You came up, everybody thought you was going. That's why they did let Hollis go. Um, but just because of the way it was, if there was any way that way that they could have, if I was them, he was another piece. He was
Right.
another piece and something that you knew that you could trust besides Kincaid and Shakir. For that reason, I they should have, in my opinion, if they could have financially have pulled it off without causing any issues, they should have tried to keep him. But I digress. Because now, because that's part of what's going on with Josh.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
it's it's Kincaid's been hurt again, and then Key and then Coleman, he's back to being whatever is going on there, and the coach is having to sit him down to where he's not starting games or not playing games at all, and it's uh, oh, so yeah, that's another one. So yeah, that's another reason why the Divas aren't dead, because that's happened to CD Lamb, that's happened to Keon Coleman.
Yep.
So yeah, like I said, it's just that the pool is not as rich in hierarchy as it used to be. So
No,
so so you're not paying attention. You're not really paying attention to it as much. The divas are still there. They just their level of stardom has dropped. So all right, I'm gonna go looking at everything. Are they at Buffalo or at New England?
they're at New England.
I am gonna go with my Pats. Yep, gonna go with my Pats. So and just see how that pans out. Um, they have a a better record at home than um Buffalo has on the road. They're undefeated in the division, which means they must not have played Miami in Miami yet.
Who? New
New
England.
England.
I think that's where they end the season at.
Yeah, they usually don't win that game. Um,
They better, because that might be
so
for the number one seed.
yeah, yeah. They better do what they can to win out. All right, who's next?
Giant, Washington at the Giants.
Oh God, just call this week the
The goddamn.
right
That's
the week of I don't know. It's like
it's like
it's been like that. This has been a trend like for some weeks now, but it seems to be getting worse. Um, like oh my God, San Diego is up 7-3 right now. That's a
yeah.
baseball score. Um, I forgot to switch to the game. ESPN switched to it for me on my smaller TV. I was watching two uh, uh, girl basketball games.
Yeah.
My God, Washington at the Giants. Holy crap!
It's bad.
So the Giants are 2-3 at home. The the Commanders are 1-6 on the road. The in the conference they're 1-7. The Commanders are 1-7, and in the conference, the Giants are 1-8. The only thing that the Commanders really have over them is that they played two less division games, so they're
Yeah.
1-1 while the Giants are 1-3. Wow, Jesus Christ! I I guess I'll go with the Giants. I guess I'll take another L. Good God. I don't know.
I don't. And this is what, because I like Jackson Dart.
And they got blown. This would be easier if Washington hadn't gotten blown off the field this past weekend.
I know. That's why I'm
They,
like, I'm
they,
debating. Like,
they didn't score anything. It
I
just
don't. And see, here's the thing: you don't know if Daniels is going to play because he rehurt his arm. Ertz is out, so it's
yeah.
like the running game ain't been there. The receivers ain't been consistent.
They're not going to use it to the level that it needs to be because they have Rodriguez.
Giants. I can't risk it. I need
Yeah,
every win I can get.
right. I just and I got a feeling that this is. I swear to God, if Washington does to the Giants what Minnesota did to them, it cost me a game. I swear for all that is unholy. Um. Jesus. Yeah. And then their records are even close. 3-10, 2-11.
Yeah,
What the hell?
this is the death nail week.
Right. Who else we got?
Vegas at Philly. I can't let that one slide.
You know what? They bet not. I, that's all I'm gonna say. Philly bet not. I'm going with Philly. Philly bet
Philly
not.
bet not. Philly bet not. That's the best way to put it. Philly
If
bet.
if if they lose to the Raiders, I don't even want this game to be close. This better be like a 10 plus, like two touchdowns.
This
Come
better
on.
be a complete blowout. That's what this needs to be. Not
I
even.
mean, I mean, while their defense is to be respected for the Raiders, they're gonna spend more time on the field
Yeah.
as long as which I think they might need to go run first. I'm sorry. And that's not necessarily saying with Saquon. Obviously Saquon's going to be a part of it, but you got two running backs there and they both work.
How
I
I
hate
gotta
to
go with
say
Philly.
it. I'm going with the Eagles. Who you got?
I got Philly.
All right.
All right. Jets at Jacksonville.
Jacksonville.
Yeah. Arizona at Houston. I'm not betting against Houston with that defense. I can't. What's it called? Jacoby Brissett is leading in passer rating.
Oh, wait. You said Houston against Arizona?
Yeah.
Texans.
Green Bay at Denver.
Hmm. Mm. Mm. Yeah, I saw this. Yeah. Mm. Green Bay needs this.
Yes, they do.
They need to win out. Um, and they're at Denver.
They're at Denver. That's the 425 kickoff. There's no 405 games this week. It's all 425.
Okay. Hmm. Hmm. That right. You know what? Damn, this is actually the battle of the defenses.
Yep.
Literally, the battle of the front sevens. And because of that, I'm gonna go with Green Bay. Even though they're 4-1-1 on the road and Denver is undefeated at home.
I'm going with Denver. I can't. I don't. I Green Bay has been so hit and miss, and they've burned me
Yes,
so many
it
times. So hit or miss.
and and the sad part is I have a feeling that I could be burned on this, but the problem is the way Bo Nix has been playing, especially against tough defenses, because there's some games that they won that they should have lost, but their defense was always better than the other
There's other
defense
teams. Yep.
than the other and I after that Washington game, I don't know if they'll be able to I don't know if they'll be able to if they're going to bring it like they normally are or if they're going to play like they did against Washington. They play like they did against Washington with Love. The wide receivers are actually catching the ball now. That will be a problem for Denver. It's already been shown. If you can't get to Love, Love is going to eat you.
Mm-hmm. And that's what
if they mix in the running game with Wilson and Jacoby and Jacobs for 4 quarters too. Yeah, that offensive line is definitely not what it used to be
Nah, that's why that's
for the Eagles.
is getting it, yeah, because they said it was some type of crazy page just popped up where it was interception and two fumbles on the same play.
And he just threw an interception again.
I
The wide receiver fell down.
need Hurts. I need him to do good. I'm getting whooped right now. He's giving me 1 point. Hurts in the second quarter with 4 minutes left. I have 1.77 points from him. That's it.
Did that dude push Devontae Smith? I keep trying to see if I can see a play, but they won't show that camera angle.
I just need 34 points. That's it in order to win this game. 34.
He's thrown
Two
three
players.
interceptions in the last 2 games. The only thing that's helping him is the defense is actually showing up. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa! They got the ball back. They
Billy
got the
got
ball back. Yeah,
who dropped it? Who fumbled it?
they blitzed and what's his face fumbled. They blitzed on a pass and
He only got one good hand. I don't know why he's playing. They only got one good hand.
yeah, he blasted that running back. dude, dude, they got the Dean that got the and he stripped the ball. That's what it was. Cause what's his name held on to the ball, but he had it. He had it at the points like he was supposed to. But the problem was as the guy was coming in to take him down, he reached up one arm and stripped it as he was taking him down.
Jesus
He
Christ.
he yeah. Yeah, so Herbert, yeah,
Herbert's got one good hand. That's why I'm like, why is he doing it?
oh man, Philly definitely needed that because they down by 7 at this point. But the question is, can they can they do anything offensively? If they can't do nothing offensively, it don't mean anything.
Just throw a touchdown. Just throw it to AJ. Just throw it up in the vicinity. Shit.
Who's the next game, man?
Detroit at the Rams.
You know what? I don't know what I'm gonna get out of Detroit at this point. So, um, they're 8-5.
Detroit has to win out.
Oh yeah, for sure. And with the way the Seahawks and the Rams and the 49ers are playing, the NFC as a whole is about to get interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Is real interesting at this point between the NFC North and the NFC West. It's about to get super dicey. Anyway, you said at the Rams or at Detroit?
LA.
Mm-hmm. Mm. Give me the Rams. Give me the Rams.
I don't.
Good Lord. Wow,
Say Detroit.
they're tied?
Who?
Almost?
Who?
Really? Detroit. So in the conference, Detroit's 5-4 and the Rams are 5-3.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, I'm taking Detroit because I'm just trusting Gibbs. I'm trying to trust Gibbs. Gibbs and Amara.
I
Just,
don't know. Durant and them, man, they've been playing nasty lately.
I know, I know. If I take the loss, I take.
Ooh, they're running Saquon.
Oh shit! I'm going up against somebody who's got Saquon as they running back.
Ah,
Damn it!
11 rushes, 66 yards so far.
Yeah, damn it! I got AJ Brown in that game and Dicker.
Mm.
Damn it! Just just throw the pass to AJ. Don't give Saquon a touchdown. I'm on a 5 game winning streak in this league. Just
The one thing that you got going for you, you know they're not going to do the tush push. So
and never know.
you know what? No, no, they're not. And the reason why I say that is every game I get to watch from them, I'm literally expecting it. They have not ran it since the beginning of the season when they were getting busted on it. It's like
Once they got told on that play, it's like
once
you can't run it no more.
once they got caught that some of the linemen were moving and they got called on it so many times, they've done it less and less and less. Other teams, almost I want to check it, but I want to check it and see what's what on it. But I got a feeling that there's been more of other teams, whether they were facing Philly or they were facing another team. There's other teams that have done the tush push more than them.
Mm. All right. So I went with Detroit. You went with the Rams. Carolina at New Orleans.
Carolina. I I I I got the Saints will just have to burn me again. Just it's a
That's what they're gonna
division game.
trust it.
It's a division game. The possibility is completely there between the two teams, especially after what the Saints did last week. So, um, wait, what? Are you serious, bro?
What?
Where
What?
were the adults at?
What?
So, apparently in the Tampa Free Press, a Pennsylvania football team, 8 players got busted stealing from Dick's Sporting Goods before the championship game.
And next game, Tennessee at San Francisco.
Right, right.
Boy,
Apparently the uh, uh, oh my God, you can't be serious. That is not their name. The name of the football team is called the United Thoroughbreds. What? Wow. Okay. All right. I'm sorry. What was the team?
Tennessee at San Francisco.
Damn. I, no. Uh, give me the 49ers.
Yeah, I took them to it.
Yeah, yeah. Give me the 49ers. I'm not fully invested in the Tennessee Kool-Aid yet.
No, not yet.
It
Uh,
was it. I'm happy for them that they turned it around because I was wondering if I was wondering how Cam Ward's attitude was gonna go over with the team as the season went on. So if it gets them to winning, then that means that everybody understood where he was coming from, and they stepped their game up. So, but we'll see.
all right. So next one, Indianapolis at Seattle. Could one person's injury toward 2 MVP campaigns? I think so.
Well. Here's the thing. Whenever they play tougher defenses, as far as I can tell, Darnold fell out of the MVP race. Because when they have to play a tough defense and they're coming after him, Darnold is the same old Darnold. Because while their line is good, all right, they're moving the ball, and I didn't tell you earlier, but AJ did get a throw. Um,
You catch it.
yes, he did. He caught it, and I believe it was for a first down. And
Hey,
they are threatening because
first to go at the 2.
Goddard, yeah.
All right, so alley-oop to AJ. Just chuck it up there. Let him go get it. Come on. Don't give it to Saquon.
I, I
No
don't
tush push.
know. Only team to score a touchdown in every goal to go drive is Philly.
Tush push. Here it comes.
No, he was in the shotgun. He was,
What?
yeah.
Touchdown, AJ. Yeah, come on, touchdown, AJ. Come on, you can do it. You can do it. You can do it. Do something with your life, Jalen Hurts.
Unless, oh, they're thinking that they are gonna do the touch push. You
Tush
may have
push, tush push, tush
you may
push,
have called it.
tush push, tush push. At least in this other game, I got. See, here's the thing. I got Jalen Hurts as my starting quarterback and McConkey as my receiver in one game, and then I got AJ as my receiver in the other one. The other one where AJ's my receiver, I'm only down 6. The one where I got Hurts and McConkey, I'm down 33. So
Wow.
I need a nice game. Because I'm about to fire everybody off my team and get a whole bunch of scrubs that's playing for teams that's trying to fight for the playoffs. Because it's the playoff time. I need to make this team look like it's people that's going to actually get some runs.
Wow.
All right, Indianapolis at Seattle. Who do you got?
Seattle.
Yeah, I took Seattle. When I was saying the MVP race that where one person's injury could kill 2, I was talking about Jonathan Taylor.
Oh, man.
They can't pass. They if they can't pass and they hone in on the run, it's a wrap for dude. All right, Minnesota at Dallas.
I'm gonna go with Dallas.
Yeah, I went with Dallas too. And the Monday night game, Miami at Pittsburgh.
Wow. Mulata got hit with a holding call.
Oh, see, told you. Should just pass it
Um,
by.
no, they were passing.
Oh, darn it. Just throw it in the end zone. Don't give him a chance. I'm taking Pittsburgh, even though I want them to lose. Because it's Pittsburgh. I just don't trust Miami.
Yeah, the way that Pittsburgh's defense has been playing lately, and as much as I hate to say it, they might want to run the ball because that line cannot hold up for Hurts.
I know.
He just had to throw it out of bounds because as soon as he said height,
4 people was running at him at full steam ahead with nobody blocking.
let's see. Yeah, yeah. They rushed 4, and all 4 of them. eventually got off the blocks and was chasing Hurts.
Huh.
Yeah, that's nice. Yeah. So yeah, I'm definitely seeing reasons why defensively I'm seeing a reason why me picking what's the name is not a problem.
Picking
Why me
who?
why me picking the Chargers next week is not a problem.
Yeah, true.
So now the question is if Kansas City's defense shows up, what's that gonna mean for San Diego? Because even though I just started watching the game, they seem to be real keen on having it be Herbert versus Hurts. And do they have any running backs available?
Who?
Uh, San Diego.
What's the car came back today? The rookie came back today.
Wow, they had to settle for a field goal.
You're
They
shit.
they didn't run. What? Well, it depends on what happens with this flag.
Oh, offensive do the tush push shit.
Yep, they called a timeout so that they could challenge if that was a forward pass or not.
Oh God. All right, who you picking? So you wrap this bad boy up.
Uh, Pittsburgh.
Yeah. So the only head-to-heads we got this week is in the middle. The, Green Bay against Denver. You took Green Bay, I took Denver. And then Detroit and the Rams, I took Detroit. You got the Rams. Everything else, we lock in step.
Yeah.
I will tabulate the up-to-date scores and post them tonight into the group. Everybody, if you did not see my rant yesterday in the group, yeah, I went off the CFP. That's what led into that opening salvo today. Because it when I first started, that was before I saw the stuff with Acho.
And they're gonna say things like that forever.
They're gonna say it's never gonna be
Forever.
right. It's never gonna be right until everybody gets a participation trophy and they let
And then it's gonna be people mad at that.
right. Because it's gonna be like, well, why did everybody get a chance to play? Because y'all complain when people got a chance that didn't play. So it's like, what do you want? And it's never gonna be right. It's never gonna
It's ruining the spirit of competition.
But you ruined the spirit of competition when you sat there and gave all the rules to add a group of five and anything else. Cut the BS, make it to where whoever sit there, the best logical way to fix the college football playoff is have them do no rankings until week 8. Now, week 8. But here's the thing: you shaking your head, but some of the pundits was actually agreeing with it. And they said then from week 8 on, put out the top 4 teams. That's it. Don't tell everybody the rest of
them. And here's what that's gonna do. It's gonna allow some people in that don't deserve to be in, and you're still gonna be pissing and moaning anyway.
Oh yeah.
There is no way to fix it. There is absolutely so basically give them and then on top of that, what's gonna be the motivation up to week 8? Who's gonna give us? Who cares about any of the games until week 8? Who cares about any of the games until week 8?
You're
but,
still gonna watch. You're gonna watch an Alabama Georgia. You're gonna watch LSU against LSU against USC. You're gonna
right, but those usually don't happen till later. So what's gonna make you watch before? Unless right, and how many of those people? That's the problem. That
And,
that
and
and that's where the problem's gonna really come in because
right.
you're gonna have even less people watching because you're be, be, because because most of the time when you see effort is when it's gonna mean something.
And
That's why so many people don't want to watch anything until the playoffs because quote unquote that's when it means something. And what you're gonna do is you're going to take what's going on in the pros, which we were already there, and then you're going to go to college, and then people are going to be mad at that, and then they're going to be scrambling trying to figure out, well, what can we do to get people get people reinterested in the games from week 1 to week 7. There ain't nothing you can do. There's not if they're gonna be interested, they're gonna be interested.
the only ways that it's going to fix it realistically is you make it to where the power four are the teams that's going into the CFB playoff. Do away with the group of five. You treat it like it's the NFL. You got 4 conferences. Each team, each ones get 2 teams. Each one gets 3 teams into the league. What happened?
Uh, okay. So, Philly got an interception, and then, I guess one of the offensive players, for San Diego, knocked all Jesus out of him. So, so there was a penalty.
Oh my God, they got the ball back. Oh God. Okay. All right. Now that's the only way is make the power four conferences your main conferences. Top 3 teams get in. Don't worry about the
But
power five.
that's not fair.
But
It's
you know
not
what?
fair. It's not fair that these other teams aren't in the SEC and the Big Ten. That's what they were saying before. That's why it ended
Right.
up becoming the Big Five. And then
And
see,
it's still there.
not two
It's either
seconds.
it's either that or
You gonna have
or
everybody clamoring to get to the SEC. So I mean, get to the SEC and the Big Ten, which is gonna
but
make it
you can't
even
do it. You
bigger.
can't cap you have to cap it at 16 teams
No, no.
because
You have to give these other teams a
you're gonna have to
chance.
make a tournament for the bit for everybody else on the back end of it
Yeah.
because you can't. It's never going to. You cannot sit there. You're going to have to make it to where it's either regional. I know you're either going to have to make it to where it's regional, where it's divisions, or you're going to have to, or you're going to have to let 16 teams in and you just let it ride, and you
No.
better fight. You fight to the death to get in this 16.
No. And the same thing. You want to know why the same thing is going? I know the same thing is going to happen because even when there was a bunch of bowl games and there was one national championship game, everybody was pissed that their team wasn't considered, even though they knew the reasons why, and they're it's basically going to do the same thing. They just going to change the details, and
Yeah.
it just like they are now. It like I said, it, the people
Well,
that are
I
the
would rather
people
go
that are
back to how it
clamoring
was.
the people that are clamoring for Notre Dame, the only legitimate part of the beef that they actually have, because they're not actually in a conference, is the fact that that whole thing flipped when when
Oh,
if if
that's what I
if
wanted to end it with. You just made me think about it. Why the hell they come out with there was a rule that they signed with the committee that goes into effect next season to where if Notre Dame is ranked in the top 12, they automatically in.
no good,
He missed the kick.
he missed the kick.
And on that note, it's time to go because this game is also the 2 words for this week, fans of United World of Sports, is shit show
Oh God.
and boat race.
And the sad part was they got an extra turnover. They didn't have that much time left.
They ran him out there and tried to kick it, and he missed the kick.
And he
Hey,
missed the
listen,
kick.
is it Ohio State all over again? Did he kick it all the way across the field to the wrong area? Ooh, did I say that?
No,
Hey, that was
but he did kick it. He did kick it too much to the left though.
that was the funniest thing I ever seen in my life. Because I sat there and I said, they about to tie this game. They about to tie this game. This game gonna go overtime, and Ohio State gonna eke it out. Unless their kicker nuts up the kick. Oh, wow, he cut it up to 29-yarder. It went straight. The goalpost is here, folks. The goalpost is right here. It's right here in the frame. He kicked it across the goalpost, not through it, across it. For 29 yards after they showed the footage, after he was talking shit to Indiana fans on the sideline while he was practicing the kick. And this was another episode of United World of Sports. I am Mystah Jay. That's Dante Suave. And we have a week off of college football before we get into the clusterfuck / shit show of the college football playoff to enjoy for 3 weeks. And we crown a national champion, which isn't going to be Notre Dame, because Notre Dame doesn't want to play with any of you folks anymore, because you guys didn't want them to come be included. So they took their golden balls and went home.
Which they had a right to do.
Which they had all the right to do. But, people are going to find fault in that. So it's what it is. I am out of here. You guys have a great week.
See you next week. Everybody enjoy this Monday night game.
Oh no, this ain't about to be enjoyment. This is about to be like drilling your head into the wall.
Later.
Peace.